yeah.
All the fortune and fame and shine elevate me to brand new heights. I'ma pray on the lows and highs. I'ma wake up.
Black Mirror P. Pools play that drive shit. I'ma say that live shit, react lyrically. Run you over like a deer. If you not dear to me, ahead of myself, it's like I'm trying to get near to me. Bull market, bear market, what a kid to be. Dollar bill, digicoin, what you care to see. Me, I like both. Me, I like smoke on a yacht deck, a Wall Street bull, to get the concept. Apes together strong, can't wait to get along on that rocket ship to the moon. Hitch from the bomb. Until then, I'ma see you in the Discord. We getting high and getting rich, y'all.
All the fortune and fame and shine elevate me to brand new heights. I'ma pray on the lows and highs. I'ma wake up and take what's mine. One life, you can see in my eyes. Money all on my mind. Fire burns deep inside. Still I rise. Level up to the sky. So can't go back nights I cried. All the days sacrificed. Yet I still
Never met Steve Jobs, but went to Steve's Market right after the school party, finding shit I could rob. Never met Bill Gates, but got billed for the gates in the landscape as you fly high until you land paper. Then the energy changed. I'm like Neo when Trinity came. You wanna be the one, I wanna be everything. Cause everything is one when you can see everything. I get Jesus deep on the Jesus beat. Why the fuck watch the movie if the prelude sweet? Look, dog, I'd rather the book, dog. I am plant-based. What I need you to cook for? Fuck you.
all the fortune and fame and shine elevate me to brand new heights. I'ma pray on the lows and highs. I'ma wake up and take what's mine. One life, you can see in my eyes. Money all on my mind. Fire burns deep inside. Still I rise. Level up to the sky. Can't go back nights I cried. All the days sacrificed. Yet I still rise.
Now I do want to let y'all know that if anybody knows, that Bad Bunny has been on my mind. I'm telling y'all, I'm not lying. I play his music every single day. It is a nice way for me to kick my day off. Also while I'm doing work on here. I know y'all know I sound a little raspy right now, but I think I got shot again. Which is crazy because I hadn't had anything in almost 25 years, and now I have seemed to caught some kind of mucus something 2 times in 1 month. First time was from my niece, and this time I believe it's from my uncle and my grandma. And both times is people not covering their mouths when they cough, coughing into the air, and not coughing in your arm, not cleaning your hands regularly like you're supposed to, and not wearing a mask. I'm down here in the basement, so I don't have to wear a mask down here. But whenever I go upstairs, I wear a mask. Just to let y'all know, I was cleaning door handles and everything with a not a bio, I forgot what it was called, but it actually will take the microbes or whatever out of the air and off of objects for 24 hours. But you can only use that as a defense for so long. So I literally almost didn't do the space because of the raspiness and everything. And I got a little slight headache, but I was like, nah, fuck that. Oh, I'm not doing that. We're supposed to have Jennifer on today. She's gonna be talking about her life of being a Reiki master and a holistic counselor, which is really, really dope. I'm really excited about it. And if y'all could like and repost, I would greatly appreciate it. Maybe leave a comment on how your day's going so far. I know if you was in Get Woke with Coke earlier at 8:30, then you definitely told what your goals were for today and how you were actually feeling. But it's been a couple of hours since then, so things change. But I'm gonna play some more music just to let y'all know. Y'all gonna be y'all gonna be dealing with me for a little bit until she gets here. Her time that she'll be here is actually noon. Is when I will actually interview her. So y'all will be with me. I'll just be playing music as well, which y'all know I love doing. And if anybody want to come on stage and talk with me for a little bit till she gets here, I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm gonna play something else. Okay, now that song right there, I randomly found that one. Listening to that Bad Bunny album, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was dead sleep. And when that song came on right there, it was in the middle of the night. It immediately woke me up. And I was like, oh shit, I think I need to make sure I bookmark this one and put this in my playlist. Because that song is fire. Now I'm gonna let y'all know I do not know a lick of Spanish. Okay. Liz, you would know that. I don't know a lick of Spanish, but I know good music. And it doesn't matter what language it's in. If it's good, then it's good. And I'm gonna listen to it in any language. And that shit right there, it just makes me move every time. And if you on the live, you can see I'm moving. So it's just great stuff. It's still been a good day, even though I don't feel like myself. But I'm still high energy. I do want to say shout out to Wallet Guard because I am definitely wearing the gear, and every single time you're gonna see me on lives, you're gonna see me wearing it. Shout out to Michael K. My all my shows are powered by Exposed Media, my Exposed Media family. Love all of them, and we just slowly taking over. And it's been a surreal start of the year. I'm gonna be honest with you though. The getting under the weather thing 2 times in a row in a month, that shit was not on my bingo card, okay? Not for almost 25 years and not getting anything. Um, so that part sucks, okay? But we're gonna definitely keep it moving, and I'm gonna keep in good spirits. I'm guessing nobody wants to come up and speak to me. Y'all just want to sit in the crowd and listen to me today. If that's the case, then so be it. But another thing I'll say is Saturday, I did almost a 3.5 hour stream. And how about I did not know that I didn't have no damn audio. Like I had no audio at all. Me talking on here and everything, you could hear that. But if you actually watch the playback, there's no audio at all. Like nothing. And I felt like a total goofball. But we all have our little mishaps. But I'm not gonna stop doing live streams. I'm gonna keep doing them so I can get better at them, as well as helping me to be able to edit videos, chop stuff up, put stuff on other things, so I can expand my reach and get better at this craft. Because speaking in spaces and giving out my knowledge of spirituality and things that I've been through, that's easy to me. That's like nothing, which is the reason why me being feeling how I feel right now, I still can give y'all like 100% me no matter what. Which I cultivated over time. But as far as like learning how to mess with this tech to get things on other platforms so I can really expand on this, those are things that I'm still learning. Um, because abstract, still need to stream on that as well. And they like to make it difficult because y'all know now they put a paywall, but everything's behind a paywall. They only give you so much now, unless you're paying. And I kind of hate that. You know what I'm saying? Because you might not always have have the coin to be able to pay for something. So if they have it to where like my advertisement marketing video or song that I video that I did for Jennifer coming on for the flyer, I did the song from Pharmacy Phantom. Shout out to them. I own the rights. I own that music. So I used it. But if y'all look, y'all can see the Opus um watermark kind of floating around on the screen. And I don't care if that's there. Like that's just what it is right now. But at least I can still use the product. And with a lot of things, they don't even let you do that. They just be like, nah, nah, nah. You can do it for free. You can sign up for free. You can use the actual product, but if you want to put it out, you're gonna need to give us some money. And that kind of sucks. But we're gonna keep it moving. I ain't letting nothing stop me. So since there's nobody coming up to speak to a brother, then I'm just gonna play something else.
In the beamer, watch her back it up and dump it. She got her walls up, but she don't trust me. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. Need you for real, baby girl, it's no front. She got her walls up, got me like Humpty. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. All I see is the future with us. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. Guess she couldn't fall hard enough. She don't wanna fall in love. Looks beyond her ocular. Heard before it's obvious. Dance until the stars come out. Just to make you all in search. You need me, then call me up. Oh my, vision through a person you are older. Remember we was rocking on it one time. Had to be rocking on all night. I just want you, can't you see? But I'm working on just me. In the beamer, watch her back it up and dump it. She got her walls up, but she don't trust me. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. Need you for real, baby girl, it's no front. She got her walls up, got me like Humpty. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. All I see is a future with love. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. Guess she couldn't fall hard enough. No, I don't. I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't. No, I won't. Make it up just to break our boredom. Oh no, I get left with the scars. I give up for a start, but then one piece of my heart. Oh, I won't have a fantasy sometime. I want you to go with me on this side. Go with me on this side. I don't wanna fall in love, but I don't want you to give up on me. Don't give up on me. In the beamer, watch her back it up and dump it. She got her walls up, but she don't trust me. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. Need you for real, baby girl, it's no front. She got her walls up, got me like Humpty. She left a mark on my heart from the jump beat. Hey. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. All I see is a future with love. All I want from you is love. All I need from you is love. Guess she couldn't fall hard enough.
Dang, boy, I tell you, man, you really gotta give it up to Nessie, and people really gotta support that brother because he put out such good fucking music, such good music. Like whether it's his new stuff or his old stuff, you know, he just don't be missing. Like, like he don't miss at all, and I'm very thankful to know that brother and to be able to support his music and everything that he's doing, especially from one single father to another. You know what I'm saying? It's just me raising my daughter. That dude got twins, so I give a big ups and shout out to him for that. Can I get a thumbs up if everything's cool? Everybody's enjoying themselves as we sit here and chill for a little bit. Okay. Unless my screen's just messed up, I can't. I don't know if I'm even getting a thumbs up or not. No, I don't know what's going on. But I guess while I'm up here chilling, I'm just gonna keep playing music until somebody comes up here on this stage to talk. I was in the man, I was going up. I done been a man, I was going up. Made a couple bands, working on the craft, eyes on us. Price going up, niggas slept on us. Time so tough. Been so long, did so much. Can't give up, been so rough, might go nuts. Been so long, did so much, did so much. Time so tough. On the road, hop in that car and I go. I cannot hang with no blue. I'ma just stay with my hoes. It's always been bros up over the hoes. A couple of bros, they more like some hoes. A couple of hoes are realer than woes. Couple I know they doing the most. Watching my moves, they saying it's gold. I was in the man, I was going. I done been a man, I was going. Made a couple bands, working on the craft, eyes on us. Price going up, niggas slept on us. Time so tough. Been so long, did so much. Can't give up, been so rough, might go nuts. Been so long, did so much, did so much. Time so tough, yeah. Usually a nigga, but I got some light powder. Yeah, I have plenty nights when I keep the dice rolled. I invested plenty time just to keep the price going. They call this pocket can big, you see it all eyes on us. I can focus on the haters. I'm supposed to take the stance, cause I broke the elevator. I see the tales you told, and we know that it's all made up. You gotta face the fears that you know your rock can make up. You ain't never had my back, no need to front. Trying to stay attached. I was in the man, I was going. I done been a man, I was going. Made a couple bands, working on the craft, eyes on us. Price going up, niggas slept on us. Time so tough. Been so long, did so much. Can't give up, been so rough, might go nuts. Been so long, did so much, did so much. Time so tough. It's been such a long road. I'm gonna make it. I like that. Yeah. I just touched down in the bay. Catch me big stepping like a duck now. Never really care about what they say. Little finger to him, that was never there. Stay winning like a warrior. Yelling out Curry with the city air. I'ma get it and I know it.
Got me feeling rare cause I am a one-on-one. Can't nobody beat me, no, no, my son. I was made to be me, gotta get it on. Can't get where you want, just off the hope. Work hard and the time will come. But I can't ride all the time to take. Wanna tell them fuck it, but you cannot get up. Yeah, they be sleeping. You just gotta know that they'll be seasons. Sometimes it's bad. It seem like all it day. But you got this, ain't no stopping. Let's go. Can't nobody beat me, no, no, my son. I was made to be me, gotta get it on. Can't get where you want, just off the hook. Work hard and the time will come. Ever since I've been a kid, I've been a go-getter. Got distracted in the head, I ain't know better. Used to travel on that pack, but the road simple. Thought that they could hold me down with their souls feather. Manifested getting brain in that old Jetta. Overcame a lot of pain, I ain't no cheddar. I done made it through the rain, but my soul's weather. Then that whole clever. I need a queen, cause I'm a king, need a low redder. If you love her and she need you, better go tell her. Could've kept it if you tried, but my flow with her. And the post trend. So many times I feel a vibe and they don't match. But I'm going long. Wasn't even on my mind when I wrote this song. So they always trying to fight when they know they wrong. Need to call Bates nurse, they so heartbroken. Can't nobody beat me, no, 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 son. I was made to be me, gotta get it on. Can't get where you want, just off the hook. Work hard and your time will come.
Okay, now that is very inspirational because that's really all we can do out here is work hard, and we know what the destination is. We know what we want at the end of the day. But I think what a lot of people end up doing is they end up blocking themselves from blessings and opportunities because they only focus on the end game and not actually, as they say a lot of times, enjoying the ride, or just trying to play like a kid, man. Like I really want to stress this to people that that's what we're supposed to be doing out here, because technically that's all we are. We're just big ass kids, but we got money, and we can kind of do what we want. And if you really think about it, a little kid do the same thing. If they like they blocks sitting up in a little castle, they'll do that. And then 2 seconds later, they'll kick them down. You know what I mean? So, they might have their favorite army toy or whatever toy that they have, and they'll play with it all the time. And then one day you'll find it buried underground in the backyard. But they're just having a good time. And I just think that people really need to focus on that more, because there is a vibration that you build when you actually do things with the heart of a child, where you look at it as play and fun and not so focused on ones and zeros or the black and white of the situation. Creation is created by being in the gray. It doesn't happen when you're in black and white. The brain can't even seem to focus on trying to create something if you are stuck in ones and zeros and black and whites. So you really want to find your sweet spot and stay in the gray. From my own personal experience. Now people can do whatever they want to do. I ain't trying to control nobody. You control your own life, but this is I'm always trying to give things that I've used to get me to where I am today. Because I've said it many times, there is a lot people don't know about me as far as my past. And the man you see today is not the man I was many, many years ago. We all have changed. But yeah, I was wild. I did wild, crazy stuff. Um, just because when I actually did start doing my childhood regression meditation and stuff like that, that's why I got to actually see what I did. You know what I'm saying? As well as when I was 18 and I moved back home after I got, you know, kicked out of school, I literally went through almost everything my mother and my father went through. So me being a hellion kid and all that, and this isn't gonna happen for everybody, but there are certain people out there that, depending on what their purpose is, there are different things that they have to go through that other people ain't never gonna have to experience. And I had to go through all that. I had to walk, 2.5 miles to the grocery store to get groceries, and then carry $100 to $150 worth of groceries all the way back home, because I just didn't have the money at the time. My mom had to do that as well when I was a kid, riding the bus and walking everywhere. I had to do that as well, which my mom and my father had to do that a lot. The only good thing about it is around here you can kind of do that. You can walk somewhere, and and I wouldn't say like get there in a timely manner, but this place ain't so massive that you can't walk somewhere. You know what I mean? Um, but those things humbled me. They humbled me greatly, as well as it got me to have a conversation with my mom and to apologize to her for how I was. And I think that our parents need to need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they were a good parent and they were actually trying their best to do what they could, then I feel that they do. They need that, because that might help them to heal. Like now, my mom, she feels a little lost right now. You know what I'm saying? And with all my knowledge of spirituality and the things that I've been through and what ordained to do, I've been putting things together to try to help her to pull herself out of that. And that's for any parent. Any parent, when we raise our kids, that's what we trying to do. That's what we really, really are trying to do, is to have it to where they have evolved to a level that when we need their help, and it's not just financial, then they have become something that could actually help out and give back to the person that helped raise you. And that actually makes me feel really good. You know what I mean? That makes me feel really good to help people in general. I've always helped people, whether people give me credit or they don't. Deep down, they know that I help them in any way that I can. And this is a time now where you really need to help yourself, and you also need to help people around you, because we need each other for real. And if we're not trying to work towards a better collective and a more conscious collective, then we just gonna be up the crapshoot. I mean, things are crazy now, but they're definitely gonna get much, much worse. And the people around you can really, help keep you out of depression and amongst other things. So they lean on you, you lean on them. That's what makes them family. And to go along with what I'm saying, we're gonna go on to this next song right here.
Yesterday afternoon, I was discussing the plausibility of two essential features of the philosophy of illusion. The question that we have to decide whether to take life seriously or not.
Still I press on, keep it tighter than Teflon. Rose in the cup, I'm a dime. I'm hailing from the D like I was Big Sean. I met him 3 times, waiting on the fourth by the fifth. I know I be signed. List the bills due on the sixth, but I'll be fine. Looking at my wallet like shit, I'm really behind. I'm from the 7th, grateful I'm alive and never 8 9s. Keep it 10 toes with the gang, they my grapevines. Love to all my DJs giving life, you really saved mine. For real. Thankful for the ones walked
ahead and help me pay mine. Ask me what I want from the others, and I'ma say shine. Always keeping Jesus on the main line. I wasn't okay, just pretty good at making pain high. Then I found Web3 and all the rain dried. I'm never good at sinking ships, I'm just trying to raise tides. Still I press on. Still I press on. Still I press
Damn, man, you just can't go wrong. Well, that's you just can't go wrong, man. And everything that I talk about, he got a song that goes along with what I'm talking about. So man, I'm telling you, that brother just don't, he ain't missing, ain't missing at all. Okay, well, what's going on, Solo? What's going on, Smokey? I'm just in here, kind of talking to myself and rambling, sounding like Bill Burr and playing music till Jennifer gets here at noon, and that's just what we're doing today. So, me over here trying to think and focus on what I want to say is a little bit more difficult with the brain congestion at the moment. Just to let you know. So, work with a brother. But I will let y'all know we got a what is the name of that moon? Eh, it eludes me. It ain't even, I can't even think of it. But we are having a pretty powerful full moon on the 12th, which is ironic because that's my little sister's birthday. Like there was a powerful full moon on my birthday, January 11th, and then there's another powerful full moon on the 12th on her birthday. Now we were born 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day apart. And the crazy thing is that she's like my twin, like for real, for real. And it doesn't seem to matter that we were born a year apart from each other. She's like my twin, always been that way. Something happened to me, it usually happens to her too. She was, now granted, between us, she was the one that didn't really get in trouble. I got in trouble a lot more. I mean, I got whoopings every day. She learned from me what not to do. What's going on, Icy? How you doing?
Hey, sorry, I'm a little quiet. I got baby sleeping on my lap and sick boy over here trying to get into everything, but wanted to come up and, show some love.
I appreciate that. I don't mind talking to myself normally, but today my the congestion in my head, my thinking isn't as clear as it normally is.
Oh, I know that feeling. That is not fun. Eli's feeling a little better, and I won't talk about it too much, blessed to not get sick. I will not get sick. I am very healthy, and I am claiming that. Um, it is big. Um, so yeah, that's so far so good, and I'm feeling I'm gonna keep it that way.
Well, you know what? I'm happy for you. I know the pretty much the deciding factor on both times I done got this feeling in the past month. It's because both times lack of sleep. Both times I had like maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and probably in a 2 day period, it might have been like maybe 7 hours, which is supposed to be more than that. And it weakens your immune system the less sleep you have. So both times was lack of sleep. So they caught me slipping.
Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. I've not had the best sleep the last couple nights because Eli wakes up through the night like unable to breathe and like coughing like a madman, and I feel horrible. Um, but I've also been resting and drinking a lot of water, eating the right food, so hopefully avoiding that. But I hope you feel better. That congestion, That like mind fog sucks.
It does, especially when I got my first my first interview of my show today. So I want to be on point. I, was excited. You see me doing like my little marketing stuff up to this point for it. And I'm just like excited. And then I was like, what the fuck is that feeling? I was like, I know these feelings. I was like, I don't like that shit. And then next thing you know, my voice wasn't feeling right. My head felt a little floating. You always get the signs where like you're not thinking as clear as you normally are thinking about stuff. And I was like, these motherfuckers got me again. I pissed. I was pissed immediately. Um, just for the simple fact, y'all know how COVID was spread. It was spread by people not putting on a mask for one, not washing their hands properly, and coughing into the air. Um, for people that don't know, it's little gross things. When you cough up to like 15 feet. You could spray a whole room in one cough, as well as people don't cough in their arm, they cough in their hand. Why would you cough in your hand? You know who coughs in their hand? Children. And then they touch stuff. So you got, grown adults around here doing the same thing, and they just spreading it to other people. You know what I mean? They consider Asian people they see with masks on, people laugh at them, but they're doing what they're supposed to do, by keeping it to them and not passing it to other people. That's what you're supposed to do. Be courteous of others. But if you're just out there just coughing on people and not coughing in your arm, if you're not going to wear a mask and then touching everything, I mean, you're doing the same thing a toddler would do. So it's like, if you're out there, just be conscious of other people. It's not just about you. And you don't know whose immune system can handle that or not. So by you being negligent like that, you give something to somebody that actually might kill them, or damage something on them, their lungs or their nasal passages or anything like that. Like, I just think people could be very selfish about certain things, and when
Oh,
it
I
comes,
say that all the time.
it's
Because
ridiculous, right?
older or younger typically cannot handle things like this. And like, as a mom, I know that like my baby cannot handle what like an older kid can, or like an adult. And people just be going around, they're like, "Oh, I feel fine." No, it's not about you. But like every night I've been when the kids go to bed, I spray down the couch because it's not one where you can really like take off the fabric and wash it that easily. Like you can, and we do, but like not every single day because you can't really contain a toddler. So I've been containing him to like one side of the couch for each day, and then when I wash or when I clean it up, I just try to keep everything as clean as possible because we don't need that anymore, and I don't need it to go in cycles because when there's kids involved, it's like I get it, then you get it, then you get better, then I get it, then.
100%. It's like a merry-go-round, and I totally understand that. My daughter's up there right now, and I was just like, just stay in your room, because when I go upstairs, I'm gonna put my mask on. When I go pick my niece up from school, I'm gonna put my mask on because I thought it was just for me, talking um, on Saturday night. Because on Saturday I talk for 7 hours, and that should make anybody's throat raspy talking that long. But then today, I'm like, that's not what that is. I wish that's what it was, but that's not what it is. So I'm back at the same spot. So after I do this space, I go get my niece. I'm gonna go curl up in a ball on the floor and just lay there because
Yes.
that's what I do when I get sick. I'm not a person who acts like a little baby or anything where somebody's got to be there for me hand and foot, and I don't do any of that. I like to be left alone in my cave. Let me curl up in a ball, and then I'm just gonna sleep because that's how I beat it in 24 hours last time. So I just need sleep. I need a couple of meds, lay in the ball, and go to sleep. And in about 24 hours, I'll feel great again. And it's just it's irritating because this is how I'm working to make money and have a career in it. and then have to deal with getting this takes you out. You know what I mean? You can't be on here just talking and retweeting and doing all your social media stuff and nah, because your head is pounding, and at a certain point, your head will be pounding so much you can't even see that good anymore. So it's just like, you got to take a chill. But every time you take a chill, you just be thinking like, dang, man, I feel like I'm missing some opportunity. I know you need to chill, when you gotta chill. Don't get me wrong. But when you're in the groove and you actually, handling things and things are coming together properly, you get fucking pissed off when something slows you down, especially something that's not of your own fault or volition. At least that's how I feel anyway. um,
Sorry, Eli's
okay.
over here trying to get into Coke's Pokemon cards, and I'm like having to stop it while I got this baby laying dead weight on me. I'm struggling over here.
Yeah, sound like you need more hands.
Like, don't rip that pack, buddy. I don't know when he got planned for that. He said, "Is
Nah,
that Pokemon card?"
he gonna be upset if you rip it and it ain't on camera.
Oh man.
At least if he rip it, make sure you pull your phone out real fast so you can you can get it on camera for a little bit. It's wild times right now. Wild times. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go into another song because it seems to be. If y'all don't know, I got a fuck ton of Nessie songs in my playlist. So we just gonna keep going down the line. She should be here in about 14 minutes, but I say give or take. No matter who's in here, um, that's in this space, it doesn't really matter that much, all because it's recorded. People can listen back. We do have like 35 viewers that I appreciate over there watching me live. So I am definitely thrilled and pumped about that. Crazy part is I'm sure that my audio is good, but I won't really know till it's over. But I see the little dial or whatever going up and down. So I'm pretty sure we're good. The other crazy thing before I play this song is that on Saturday night I could not figure out like you know how you be messing with your computer, but I'm not realizing that people are actually seeing everything that I'm doing. So I stopped looking at like messages and everything because I was like, fuck, that's all being broadcasted. So before I started this space, I had to figure out like how do I take my actual camera and make it the entire screen so people cannot see what I'm doing in the background. I don't know why that didn't pop in my head Saturday night, but it's what I'm doing right now. So can't nobody see what I'm doing. We learning. We learning out here. We all learning together. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. She made jump like the price of crypto, love out of his go up and down. Getting me pumped for the light, make it dip low like I'm dip up the cloud. Said she needs some more boy than I see shorty that phone back. She helped me like OMG, I'm busy minting on my phone. Ooh, and I guess high, but I'm never tripping cause my bad ride. And the years we've been trying to the chicken, watch you get a flicky cause I'm that guy. She said it's still a night and got me chillin' cause the people feel it and react. In the field, probably bumping Dilla, let my twist, so I'm getting my style. In the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Screaming Toro while they FOMO, we gon' make it out of here. Bull in the field, ain't no bear, we just build. Bull in the field,
ain't no bad, we just build. In the field, ain't no bad, we just build. Screaming Toro while they come up, we gon' make it out of here. In the field, ain't no bad, we just build. Screaming Toro while they come up, we gon' make it out of here. I'm a bull in the field, ain't no bad, we just build. Screaming Toro while they come up, we gon' make it out of here.
Man, that's a good one too. That's a good one. I'm definitely feeling the energy off of that. I don't know if anybody out here has just felt like I don't know, like the universe or something and put a battery in your back, but I don't know. Right now I'm just like I just been creating stuff like crazy. My creativity of what I want to do and accomplish has been on very high level right now, and I just been going, trying to put out as much um well, not trying to go too crazy with putting out too much content because I got to edit all that stuff, but actually learning new methods and new things to put out content and not I guess you could say not kill myself to be able to do so. There's a lot of cool methods out there of learning new stuff, learning new skills, and I feel like my journey for to try to get to this next level is like really just begun, and I'm not mad about that at all. What you been working on, Icy? You been working on anything? If you can talk. I think she wrangling up kids right now or something. So I'm not going. I'm not gonna put you on the spot with that one. But just um, just trying new shit, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying new things and thinking about all of the things that I wanted to do before that I just sat around thinking about that I never did. I'm just doing it. I'm not sitting around trying to ponder, think about how it's gonna work out, if someone's gonna like it or not. I'm being honest with you. Fuck it. I don't fucking care. Like if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not gonna stop you from liking something. But the difference is that I'm doing something for me. And if I'm doing something for me, then I'm always gonna be good. Excuse me on that one. So I can't be mad about nothing. If somebody don't like something, we just keep it moving. That's just really how the game plan goes. And I think I got a perfect song to go along with fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on, Ness? I see you just pulled up. I'm playing like a lot of your playlists while we sit here and wait for Jennifer to come into the space.
Ride around like fuck niggas. Please don't hit my phone, you get that tone, cause I don't fuck with you. Heard them talking down on my name, bet it's up with you. Nothing never been sweet, borrow my hands, can't even touch switches. Stepping down with these up figures, tired of getting them bucks tricked. Say you would be loyal, but you foiled, I can't trust you. Started in the back, yeah, I can't even front with you. Got up off that bitch and in that shit, I made a jump, nigga. There ain't nothing but some trust fund, babies. Pops kicked me out at 17, but thankfully been up for me lately. Give my kids a place to stay, couple acres on the hill. Heard them bragging on them plays, they ain't playing on my field, they ain't playing in my league. Swear this shit amazes me. All these niggas is identical, they sound the same to me. Staying far away from fakes, cause I got a pace to beat. Must have seen up in my music, yeah, it sound like bass to me. Commas for the track, lawyers for the stress, and business to my Gina, cause Lord knows she been a blessing. Every time I'm home, she get my soul and it be messy. But I ain't got no time to kick it, girl, my name ain't messy. Zooming in that Hellcat, they waving down the G. But I'm all about them commas, keep that drama around for me. If you gotta go, you gotta go. No puddles around my feet. Swear I'm too up on y'all. They can never down my sleeves. They can never down my spirit. Waving when I'm taking off. Only winning in my luggage, I can never take along. Plenty lessons I've been tested, necessary. necessary to make a boss. Try to figure how to get it, tell them gotta pay the cost. Ride around like fuck niggas. Please don't hit my phone, you get that tone, cause I don't fuck with you. Heard them talking down on my name, bet it's up with you. That never been sweet, bro. My hands can't even touch switches. Something that was these good niggas. Tired of getting them bluff streaks. Say you would be loyal, but you foiled, I can't trust you. Spot it in the back. Yeah, I can't even front with you. Got up off that bitch and in that shit, I made it jump, nigga. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, listening to that, I just had like a flashback of Kendrick Lamar, his halftime show last night. I don't know why in my brain I felt like somebody should be crip rocking to that right there, but yeah, he completely killed it last night, and just listening to that song right there, I'm not gonna lie, I was having flashbacks to that halftime show. It was wild. It was a wild situation last night, and then seeing that Samuel L. Jackson was there and Serena Williams, like it was, man. I think that might go down as like one of the best halftime shows. Then don't let me fool you now. I did not watch the game. Okay, I'm not a sports guy. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just don't care. It's not. I ain't got nothing against any sports. People like them, they want to play them, or anything like that. That's totally cool. I used to play sports, but I used to play sports and I used to watch sports, but I also used to watch them so I could learn new moves to use on people. But since I don't play sports like that no more, it doesn't really interest me. I'm more of a movie, TV show, documentary type guy, or I'm always learning something. But to each their own. I know Gilly the Kid. I know he was crying. Okay, I know there's probably a video out there or something where he was. I know he had to be crying on something or doing that dance he does, which is hilarious every single time he does it. But it was crazy when he pulled out the video and he did it with Too Short, which was wild. So his Eagles won. I'm happy for him. Um, yeah, that's that. Now we on. But I will say the commercials is crazy as hell though. That's the other thing I like about the Super Bowl is the commercials. And doing to watch listening to the halftime show or watching it and watching the commercials, I don't gotta watch the game to see any of that. I literally could just chill and it'll usually pop up on X. That's why I watch the halftime show.
Yo, some of those commercials are completely out of pocket. Like, no way did you really do that.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. The crazy thing is like in elementary here in I think it was here. It might have been in Oklahoma in middle school, either one. But we had like one of the commercial analysts who works on all that stuff come to our school, and he was there for like an hour and a half, and he gave us a whole breakdown of this. So at the time of when I was going to school back in middle school or elementary, I can't remember which one it came to on that one. It costs you $1,000. No, it cost $1 million for you to be able to get an ad on the Super Bowl, right? I can't even imagine what that costs now to just get one spot, and then you'll see them. They'll have multiple. You'll see it like 3 or 4 times throughout the game, and it kind of blows my mind getting that information from that guy to find out that back then they were paying $1 million just to show it one time. So what are they paying now when you see it on the Super Bowl a few times? It's wild. It's wild.
Did you see Kanye's commercial?
No, I did not see Kanye's commercial. What was his
Bro,
commercial about?
he's just bugging out. He's losing his mind. I don't even know if I saw like the legit what I saw on X on there, but I don't know, bro. He's losing his mind. I'll find it and I'll send it to you, but he just does this for the engagement, I guess.
I think you're right about that. But that's the crazy thing is that Kanye West, every time he does that, if y'all pay attention, he either comes out with some clothes, some shoes, some music, or something right after he be putting out a bunch of that BS. So yeah, I think he does it for marketing purposes, but I'm not gonna tarnish my brand in that way just to get people to look at me. You know what I'm saying? Rage baiting people is just that's just dumb because at the end of the day, once it's on the internet, it's there forever. That's gonna follow you. That's gonna follow your children and your children's children. So I just think if you're gonna create a better image, create a better image. The funny thing about him having the woman that he with, out there pretty much nude all the time. Um, there was a gentleman, I believe he was either in Africa or it was in America, where he would have black women that he was with, and it was an old white man. He would make them dress just like that. So some people are wondering, is he trying to do that as a trope to the white guy that used to do it to black women and have them walk around looking like that? Because there was a guy that did that. Um, so that's one thing. Some things you don't know what that dude is really thinking. You know what I mean? Um, that's all I can say
I
about that one.
did. I don't know why I tried to find his Twitter account because he deleted it, but if you go on Variety's website, it shows the commercial. He was literally in a dentist chair and recorded his commercial off his iPhone, laying in the dentist chair, like he like legit iPhone quality, like the layout and everything.
That's just wild. He's such a
I
special
don't
cat.
even know how that's allowed.
I mean, they're
I
a
guess
lot.
when you got the money, they're like, all
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Because he I mean, if I got the money and you in my establishment and I don't want it, you probably gonna have to pay me to be able to do it. So I mean, it's a money grab either way in my book. I gotta roll with that. Ooh, look, Jennifer's here. Okay. So now the time has come. Okay. The time has come. Um, I will say that Jennifer has a very long bio, which which means Jennifer has been out here grinding and accomplishing so much stuff. So, Jennifer, can you help me out? How do you pronounce your last name so I don't butcher it?
You're so sweet. My last name's Haydock.
Okay, I didn't want to butcher it. Okay, so Jennifer Haydock is a what is it? A UC? Is that a UC Reiki?
It's pronounced Usui.
Usui
Yeah.
Reiki Master and Canadian certified counselor with a deep passion for mental health and holistic wellness. She's the founder of Eco Alignment, a private practice that bridges science and spirituality, offering both counseling and Reiki energy healing to help people to deepen their connection to their physical, mental, emotional, and energetic bodies. She's also partnered with ReikiDiscovery.org, offering worldwide virtual Reiki healing, and is currently exploring the transformative power of self responsibility, helping people align with their highest values and live more authentic, fully fulfilling lives. Beyond her private practice, Jennifer provides support to children, young adults, and seniors online and IRL. She is dedicated to building community, co-creating healing circles and women's retreats that bring people together in powerful, transformative ways. She embodies a holistic approach to well being, nurturing her mind, body, and spirit through movement, nourishment, and music. If I had a button for clapping, I would fucking be clapping for you right now. This is Jennifer. Ironically, is the exact same name as my little sister Jennifer, who I was just talking about. So it's a little surreal. Before I let her talk, the crazy thing about that is we were named after the show. If you ain't old enough, you ain't even gonna get this reference. The show called Heart to Heart, and they were a brother and sister duo on a TV show. My dad named us after the two people on that show who were brother and sister named Jennifer and Jonathan. So I have no claps for you. I'm sorry. But Jennifer, nice to meet you and finally get to hear your voice.
It's so nice to meet you as well. I'm so sorry for not replying to your DM. I will get to that.
It's all good. It's all good. We here. We having a good time. So let's see here. How do I want to start this off? Okay, so what got you into being wanting to be a Reiki master and a counselor?
That's a really good question. So my journey began in 2014 when it comes to Reiki. I didn't know that I wanted to do anything Reiki. I'd like to think that Reiki found me in a time and place where I was having a lot of challenges in my life. I kept saying yes to everybody, coming from a place of a people pleaser, um, when I really wanted to say no. And I remember Googling online how to say no to people because I had such difficulty. Um, and so I found this blog. It was my Reiki Master teacher's blog, Inga. And her words really spoke to me, really validated my experience in terms of, giving me permission to be able to express my no, in a moment where I had such difficulty doing so, because as the eldest in my family, the only girl in my family, I grew up, taking care of other people, being in service to other people. So being the helper and helping out was just second nature to me. Ever since my little brother was born, I was 2.5 at that time. Like it's almost as if, like, with it written within the stars, I had to show up in that way and help my family, help my brother. And so fast forward to 2014, I'm having difficulty saying no to people. I Google how to say no to people, and I find this blog, and I find this woman who really gives me permission to express my no. At the time, I didn't know how to express my no in a very healthy way. It would come out in anger, it would come out in rebellion. And so that was like the start of my Reiki journey. So, um, in terms of the counseling realm, I knew from a young age that I was, very helpful. I loved listening to people. I loved talking about their problems, um, and it didn't hit me until I was in a commerce program at college, where I realized that I was like studying a whole lot of like ways to from my perception, like manipulate other people, in coming from a business approach. And it didn't really vibe with me. It didn't really sit with me. I followed the crowd in high school. Everybody went into business, so I'm like, why not become like a badass business bitch? Like, we love this for us. Like, women can totally like take the lead and make a lot of money. um, but then I realized that in there, when I was in the program, that it wasn't aligned with my highest values. And so when I expressed to my parents how I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that it wasn't going into that realm, they they met me with a whole lot of support. And so I ended up doing a lot of studying in social sciences. When I went into university, I had applied for psychology because I realized that I feel like my nature is to not only help people, but to master the art of helping and become a psychologist. After many years of studying, I found myself completing my master's in counseling psychology, and now I'm a Canadian certified counselor, super happy to have the title, have the piece of paper to prove that I can help, bring healing to the world. And so now in this position, I'm in a place where I want to really help empower other people in the way where they don't necessarily need a degree to help bring healing to the world. They could just be themselves, and they can really, develop greater self-awareness and really align themselves with their truth. And when we come from that place, there's so much magic, there's so much power, and that is healing in and of itself. That is helpful in and of itself, especially in a world where it's so easy for us to put on a mask and put it on a persona. And I've worn so many different masks and personas in my life. I still do. I still do, and I'm still learning how to peel those layers. It comes to a point where I'm very passionate about people living in their authentic truth and being who they are. So the little spiel.
Okay. I like that because some of the things that you actually like went to school for, um, I just learned. I don't, as people say, I'm a different breed. Um, but yeah, like learning how to manipulate people or whatever. I've been doing that since I was a little kid. My ability to be able to tap into someone's emotion or their, I guess they would say, light body. Has always been easy to me, and I didn't know what I was doing. I talk in a lot of my spaces that a lot of the things that I've been practicing my whole life, I didn't know what names they were. It's just something that I have a lot of ancestors around me, okay? And, literally an army, thousands of them around me all the time, and they've been telling me stuff and teaching me things all the way up to this point. It's just that I wasn't conscious enough to understand what was going on when I'm a little kid. So, I think it's really cool to find out like your how you actually got up to that point and following the crowd and being a people pleaser. We in the same boat on that one because I've ran into that a lot, as well as the doing stuff when you know damn well you don't want to do it. Yeah, just to be pleasing people. Yeah, I've done that too. And what ends up happening is that, in my personal opinion, and from what I've learned, um, they end up taking a piece of you. Like, your shields are completely down when you do that, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, "Oh, I was gonna be doing this, I don't think I wanna do it," and they were feeling good, and then when they do it, everything around them in their life seems to be crumbling. It's because now someone isn't in your bubble. You're in somebody else's bubble. So whatever craziness they got on going over there, now you become a part of it. So if you don't wanna do something and you feel it in your spirit not to do it, you probably shouldn't. And that's going to be a hard pill, especially for people that are people pleasers. And I'm sorry, I kind of went on a rant there, but but I like that you got the credentials. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm never gonna go to school to get any credentials on that. That's just not me. Um, but I guess I would be considered more of like a shaman type person. And universe has been teaching me a long time, and I want to be able to get out there and actually have sessions with people and get them to work through their traumas and past life regressions and childhood regressions and different things like that to get them to feel much better. And it might take a lifetime. You might not even get that done in this lifetime. You might come back and it might be the next lifetime. Some people don't believe in reincarnation, which is fine. You don't have to believe in it. But just because you don't believe in something don't mean it ain't working. It just means you're not tapped in enough to be able to use it for your own benefit. Is how I look at it. But I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And to your point, I think that when we're young children navigating the world for the first time, and we're not necessarily exposed to the language to help us communicate those big feelings or experiences that are kind of out of the norm, it makes sense to try and find ways to bridge that gap. And so I know that for myself, like having gone into the education system and learning a lot of tools there, it was very beneficial. But also on a whole other wavelength that everybody else is already operating from, we have experiential wisdom and knowledge from just being a human living our lives, and there's a lot of um, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn just by being very present with our family, with our friends, just being a human being who feels a whole lot in this world. And so um, I think that right now in our society, there's this huge wave of people um, coming to the realization that they can be helpful and they don't need a degree to pursue that. And there's a part of me that always, you know, thinks about, what would it be like for me to have just gone into the healing helper realm without having gone through the whole education system, like my life may look different. Um, but I got the credentials because that's that's what society told me to do, and I took that in and really internalized that within my reality. And from there, it's like, okay, now I can come from a different place where it's like, I did it, don't necessarily need it. Like I went through all of that countless nights writing essays and papers last minute, and like, getting the piece of paper and being like, hey, now what? And what was really interesting in my personal journey that I'm still like figuring out now is how to translate all of the theory, all of the knowledge that I learned from an academic realm to like, like normal people talk. Like as you could tell, like my vocabulary, it's almost like essay like, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like sometimes I sound like a like a robot, but this is just part of who I am, part of my journey. So like I think there's a lot of beauty in being able to translate everything that we learn from our experiences into words and into language that other people can receive and digest. That's my point.
Mm, I totally get that. Mine is the crazy thing is the mantle that I've told the story many times. I was 18 years old. It was a full moon outside, and I was here in North Carolina, and they asked me, "Do you want to go on this path? You can either take up the mantle or not." And I was like, "Well, I want to take it up." Now, granted, I went through some stuff before I really like fell into giving in to the path. You know what I mean? But that is where things changed over for me because my friend who is an actual witch, she comes from a long lineage of witches. She's done some mind-blowing stuff. Like this woman's so good. She knew what was in my bathroom and she's in Colorado. And I had, like, got out of the shower and everything before I even seen her. I mean, talked to her on the phone, and she was like, "How about you do me a favor?" I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "How about you go in there and pick up that green towel you got sitting on the floor, and hang that up because it's wet." I was like, "What the fuck?" Um, but it blew my mind. So, and she told me, she's like, "You've already opened the door." She said, "When you work with me, we're gonna open it all the way. And once you open the door, you can't go back. Just to let you know, you can't turn it off." So me being I'm a bunch of things. So me being like an empath as well as a energy vampire and some other things. It may go over people's heads, but if you look it up, those are things, and those you're around those people all the time. They don't even know what they are, and they may be sucking the life from you, and you don't even know it. But they don't even know they're doing it. And these are things that I've learned from just watching documentaries and stuff, listening to audible books, and my ancestors literally telling me. It's never a man that tells me things. It's always a woman. And I had this crazy thing that I thought was a dream, but I realized the next day it wasn't. I go to sleep. I end up in a very old town that's probably from like the 1910s or 1800s or something like that. It was like a shanty looking town, but it had a water fountain in the middle. There was a black cat there. And this black cat was talking like Sabrina. The black cat was talking to me, and I'm like, "So what am I doing here?" They was like, "Well, here you about to meet her," and I'm like, "Meet who?" And he's like, "You'll see." And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't with all this. I'm about to leave." And the cat looks at me all weird, so I try to run, and it was like one of them cartoons. I run out, and I end up back in the same spot. And the cat told me, "You can't leave until you decide what you want to do. Now it's time for you to make a choice." So this was my other initiation. So I was like, "Okay, so where she's at?" And she's like, "She'll be here in a minute." So the cat walks away. The cat walks into a little shack house, a little beat up old shack house. Like I'm talking about this town looked like during slave time is what this little area looked like, which kind of tells me something at this point in time. But um next thing you know, a little old lady, a little old black lady comes out, got gray hair and everything. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm who you've been waiting to see. So what are you gonna decide?" And I'm like, I thought about it, and I was like, "I'll take the path." And she's like, "Okay, if you willing to take the path, then you're on it now. So your life is gonna be completely different than anybody that you'll ever meet." And you'll go through some things that you think you can't make it through, but you will because you're ordained to do what we're about to, give you the abilities to do. And next thing you know, I was like, "So hold up, now where's that cat at?" And she said, "Come on, silly, I was the cat." And then bam, I wake up. And that is that was the second part of my initiation to me being what I am today. I know that sounds a little it might sound a little wild to people, but man, y'all have no idea what kind of life I live outside of X.
Yeah, well, I think that it's really in the wild storytelling that we get to receive a lot of wisdom, like, and I think that initiation is so beautiful. Black cats really stand out. For for me, it's definitely a symbol that is usually tied with like oh, it's bad luck, but I never thought it as true. And I think that within your experience, there's that question, like you have to decide what path you will take. It is your decision to make. And when we take full responsibility for how we show up in our lives and we decide, that's when the intention is, you know, placed. And through expressing our truth and being willing to step into our sovereignty and accept whatever challenges we may face along the way. There's a whole lot of willpower and there's a whole lot of courage that we end up embodying. Um, so yeah, to bridge off of that, like I think that there's a saying that my brain is trying to like come up with right now, but very simply, whenever we decide to take on like a challenge or to step into like the role of the hero or the creator or the author within our story, there's a whole lot of light that comes with it and an equal amount of dark. Because we live in such a world that is polarized, like, there's a lot of extremes, there's a lot of opposites that we're working with here on Earth. And I think that it's beautiful. Like when we get to accept that, you know, every step that we take is a reflection of that light as well as that dark. There's a whole lot of alchemy that we engage and bring in.
You know what? Yes. And I've ran into people that are like they terrified of that type of stuff. Like they think it's like some kind of like scary devil worshiping craziness. And then I have to break down to them. They're like, "Oh, that's occult stuff." And I'm like, "Do you even know what the definition of the word means?" And they're like, "Yeah, it means something bad, right?" I was like, "No, the definition of the word occult means hidden knowledge. Anything that you know that a bunch of people don't know is an occult thing. So that just means hidden knowledge. That's why education is very important. If you hear something that may spark some negative or positive emotion out of you, how about you go look it up and stop trying to walk around like the rest of the sheeple people thinking that they know something, because as far as like the things of like actual doctors and the drugs and um to be honest with you, with like church and stuff like that, and if you go to church and that's what helps you in your life, do your thing. But there are much more powerful things that have been around way longer before that, and if you really research that, that ain't really been around that long compared to the things that I'm talking about, that follow me around. You know what I mean? And they try to make look like things that's gonna be helping you on the other side are supposed to be looking all like blue eyes and blonde hair, or they're supposed to look like rugged men and beautiful. Like that's not how this works. The things on the other side may not look like that. It may look like something that's a demon, but that doesn't mean that's what it is. It just depends on what your lineage is connected to. And with my lineage going all the way back to Africa, what do you think most of the deities and stuff over there look like? They look like something that would kill you, okay? But at the end of the day, that's not what it is. That's why education is very important, and stop trying to listen to people that don't know what the hell they talking about. In the book, what is it? The Richest Man of Babylon, the guy told the gentleman who just got shafted, he thought he bought like precious stones when really he bought colored glass. And the reason why he got duped like that is because he asked a bricklayer about stones. And the guy who is considered the richest man of Babylon said, "You ask a bricklayer about laying bricks. You do not ask a bricklayer about precious stones and diamonds." So we have to be very much more conscious about who we taking our information from. Like, have you put in the work? Do you do any of the practices? Are you becoming the change you want to see around you? And if you ain't doing none of those things, then you shouldn't not listen to them, but you should take it like a grain of salt, because even a homeless man on the corner can give you some good advice to change your life, and you never know what being may be speaking through them at the time. And I know we need to get more into your becoming a Reiki master and certified counselor and everything. But I like having conversations with people. I don't know how much time you got though.
Oh, I got time. I got time. I got until like 2 p.m. So we're good on time. It really depends on your time at this point, because I know that you've been on and live for a little bit. But yeah, no, I think it's really cool to have these conversations, and it really helps to kind of like normalize this kind of energy talk and uh, storytelling from our own experiences and from our own like understanding of the world. And when we come together to have these conversations and to, give ourselves the space to reflect on how another person's story and another person's being can impact us. I think there's a lot of beauty in that. Um, and just to bridge off what you had shared, it was definitely like a learning experience for me, because when I was growing up, I took everybody in, and I accepted it as truth, like an absolute truth. And then what was really painful was unlearning all of the things that I learned from a place of innocence. When a child is born into this world, and they're told, you know, you got to follow the rules, and you have to do things this way, and this is the person that you need to listen to, and this is the belief system that you need to internalize. You're a child. You're going to do everything that everybody else is telling you to do, so that you don't get exiled from the tribe. And I believe that this is definitely one of the reasons why, like, I'm just a people pleaser at heart. But this is something that's seen amongst many children, in the way where you're told from a very young age to share your chocolate bar with your sibling, because sharing is caring. And then, subliminally, there's this programming of, like, anything that you want yourself, it's much more difficult for you to receive, um, because it's selfish. And so, like, unlearning all of that programming is such a journey. And then on top of that, when you are in this world where a lot of people are asking for your attention and playing different roles, and really, embodying different narratives, saying that, yeah, they're there to help you and they're there to heal you. Um, but it turns out that in their actual life, like, they haven't even put in the work. They're just, riding that spiritual ego wave that we all have the tendency of um, getting on. It comes to a point where it's like being met with the reality of our situation, like, oh, we have to be mindful of who we surround ourselves with. We have to be very conscientious about what we choose to consume, through the media, through literature, through film. And I think that having that awareness, and bringing our conscientiousness to the present moment, and every present moment moving forward, really helps to protect us, so that we, stay aligned with who we really are, and we don't become influenced or malleable from the environment that surrounds us. And I mean, I'm not perfect on my end. I'm still seeing and learning how I'm still very much, like, malleable and influenceable by other people that I uh, see and place on a pedestal. But I think that the real unlock is when we see ourselves as worthy, and we level out the playing field, and we put our own needs first, which comes back to the whole, me having learned how to say no, and that being like my initiation to get on this healing path. Now I get to help others express their no, and when we express our no, we're also expressing our yes. So, um, yeah, I think it's really, this is such a really great conversation to have. I'm loving it.
I am too, especially that I got somebody that can go back and forth with me, and we can dive deep into this stuff, because this has been my whole life. Like, people do not understand, like, everyone has their past, everybody has their different things they go through. Um and I understand that, but I will say it is something different when it is a spiritual path, and you're born, and you've been automatically ordained to be something that you don't even know, like, what the hell is going on right off of the bat. Like, I've been called preacher since I was a little kid, and I ain't never liked that term at all, because My mom will tell you, I ain't never liked the church before I was born. She step into a church, I go crazy in her stomach. And that's just because it's obvious that I've probably been here a few times, and that's not what I was practicing. But my homegirl, she told me, she was like, you shouldn't be worked up about the term someone calling you priest. And I'm like, well, why not? Or preacher. And she was like, because if you're a shaman, that's what you are as well. That's what it would translate to. So that completely changed my thinking on that. And I really enjoy helping people. I my personality and how I am and the energy around me, I allow people to completely be who they are. If they completely break down and cry, whether that's a man or a woman, because it's happened with either, with people being around me, I allow them to do it. I don't judge people for that. I don't judge people for what they say to me. Um, I'm able to do the duality and see both sides. And maybe that's because, now granted, I'm a very nice person. I like helping people, but I'm gonna let y'all know something. I'm a natural born asshole. Okay. I was an asshole until I was like close to 20 years old. Okay. So I was that kid. So when like the scene from Batman that Bane was talking about, I was born of the dark, you know, that resonated with me because that was true. That was me. Um, to let y'all know, I am a Capricorn. So I me living in the darkness and going through the muck and everything, that doesn't phase me. It doesn't stop me or slow me down. But I think it's like one of my greatest powers because it allows me to not have fear, to look into my problems, to look into things that I need to fix. I'm not afraid to dive into them. And a lot of people that I have met, as well as friends that I have, they're terrified of doing that, and I'm not. But that's because I was already of the dark. So if I was already in the shadows, then coming to the light is like a cakewalk. And every time I need to reach back into the dark and do my shadow work, um, I have no fear of doing so. And I don't need someone to be around to help me with that. People who need counseling and things, I have no qualms about that. Because my daughter, when I got my daughter full time, she needed counseling for all the pain and all the trauma she had been through, being with her mom. And whatever you got to do positively that gets you to the light and allows you to stay in the light as long as you possibly can, I'm all for it. It's just that my path is definitely different, and there are going to be people that resonate with me that I accept because they accept me. And I just that's why I started this space. I started at brunch before lunch because I've never had a bad brunch before, like ever. Brunch was always great. Of course, we were getting drunk and and eating and having a good time. But my brunch might start at 11, but it would end at like 4 or 5 o'clock, that afternoon. So I call it brunch before lunch because I wanted to try to incite a good positive vibe for people while they're about to go on their lunch break or on their lunch break, and to have positive conversations that spark to mind and conscious of the people out there. So this is why I created it, to be eventually to have conversations like this. And I'm not the only one talking about stuff in this manner. And this woman is highly educated. And I miss these kinds of conversations because I used to talk to a gentleman, like a long time ago back in Oklahoma, and that's what we used to do. He had a PhD in psychology, and he was fascinated with all of the stuff that I knew that I never looked up, that he could correlate with because he had a PhD in psychology. And we used to have great Sunday dinners till his mind started slipping. And I'm glad and grateful for you, Jennifer, to be on this stage so we can actually dive in and talk about this stuff. So I will say, um, how did you start the process of being a Reiki master?
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for creating brunch before lunch. It's really nice to know like the origin story behind your intention for opening up the space for us to have these conversations. So thank you for clarifying that. When it comes to, you know, getting on the Reiki path, it first looked like me going to a Reiki healer and receiving Reiki. So, for all of you out there in the crowd, if you don't know what Reiki is universal spiritual healing energy. And so, when a Reiki practitioner is giving a Reiki session or giving Reiki to somebody, they just open themselves up like a channel. You can imagine them like a flute, and the Reiki is the air. It's the energy that goes through the flute. So when I was receiving Reiki from Inga, she would be channeling that universal spiritual healing energy through her, and then really setting the intention to align my chakras. So when it comes to Reiki, we are looking at the chakras. We're looking at, the imbalances and the blockages that we may perceive on an energetic level within the body. And when I went for my Reiki healing sessions, what I noticed was how I would, see things with my eyes closed. I would feel a lot of emotion tied to specific events that would happen in my life. And I really appreciated, you know, having the time to explore everything that came up from one session with another person, and then to receive like additional like homework in the sense where it's like, okay, like I'll hold on to this little crystal that will like, help me in my journey, or oh, I need to deep dive and kind of explore myself a little bit further in this idea through journaling. Or oh, I have so much energy right now, I can go for a run and really like embody this activation that's showing up for me right now. So I received a lot of benefit from Reiki, and I didn't know what it was going into a Reiki healing session, and I didn't want to like do research either. There was a part of me that wanted to go in a little bit blind to, experience it for myself. And I'm really happy that I did that. And it's the kind of approach that informs my work whenever I'm holding space for another person. It's nice to know a little bit of a background story of like where they're coming from and everything. Um, but I think at the core of all of this, energy doesn't lie. And when we trust in our own intuition and our own capacity to read other people and to receive other people, um, there, it just becomes like uh, another language that we develop. So after receiving a few Reiki healing sessions, Inga had, proposed becoming a student of Reiki. So like receiving an attunement and actually like learning how to channel the universal spiritual healing energy, and you know, being able to give myself Reiki and, give other people Reiki. And so this was a path that was offered to me, and I said yes. And I'm very happy that I said yes, because it's definitely been an integral part of my healing journey. Like as I was going through the counseling realm and learning things from a very like academic and theoretical level, like there was a lot of things that were happening in my life that were super chaotic, and Reiki helped to like balance everything out. Um, so yeah, and I think that like my personal journey is such message on how we don't necessarily need to focus on one path or the other. We can integrate two seemingly opposing realities and hold space for them at the same time, like science and spirituality. This is just part of my belief system. And I recognize that there are a lot of people that may not have the same belief system as myself, but what works for me works for me. So, um, that's the message that I'm really anchoring into right now. And I think it just goes to show how like healing can look different. It doesn't have to copy or replicate some system that's already been in place. And it's so okay if like people are more traditional and they really receive a lot of value from that approach and that direction. And there's other ways of being a healer and helping out in this world that may not necessarily follow status quo or the norm, and that's okay too. I hope that answers your question.
No, that definitely answered my question in great detail. So I greatly appreciate that. I believe that if I'm really thinking about how you do Reiki on yourself, I believe I've been doing that to myself for some years now. Because I collect crystals, and right now currently I have I guess it would be they consider it like a stone egg. It's like the egg of Sheba. And this stone that sits at the river as it's rolling around, it actually creates like the shape of an egg. And it turns out that it actually is supposed to cleanse and like energize all your chakras. So between that and the black tourmaline, I noticed, because I experiment with putting crystals around my neck. As you can see, if you're live, you can, if you are watching me on live, you can see all the crystals around my neck. Um, I put them under my pillows when I go to sleep to see how I feel the next day. And I noticed that every time that I had the black tourmaline and that freaking that egg underneath my pillow, I was totally motivated the next day to knock some stuff out. All the stuff that y'all been seeing me doing, and how I just been like making a bunch of content, and thoughts are coming fast, and really just running with stuff and not overthinking. That's literally I literally have that egg and the black tourmaline underneath my pillow every single night when I go to sleep, which is wild to me when I actually, acknowledged and noticed it and actually did something with it. And there's just we're all out here just supposed to be experimenting, man. That's really what it boils down to. We're just experimenting and seeing what works for us. What works for you might not work for somebody else. Um, Kind of like I pray in the shower, and I pray in the shower because it amplifies my prayers. But not only uh does it amplify my prayers to pray in the shower, I'm connected to water deities to begin with. So it really helps me out more. But when I told some people in my space, brunch before lunch, they started using it. And a couple of months back, they were like, bro, that changed everything by me praying in the shower. And you're supposed to be doing it with cold water, or as cold enough water as you can actually stand. And it actually gets people it gets people more tapped in because it hits your nervous system and everything. And I think it just hits you much more to be more present in the now, which is what I feel is actually what happens. I think that's probably Callie. I'm gonna let you know, Callie. I'm gonna let you up here in a little bit, but I'm just gonna have the stage for Jennifer at the moment. And I know you got questions. I know you got stuff you're gonna say. And once you start going, I'm not gonna be able to get to the stuff I want to get to her. So I love you, my sister. I am gonna bring you up, but I'm not gonna bring you up right yet. Um, because I know she got some fire shit to say always. Callie always got some fire shit to say. Uh, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning and trying to understand the situation that's actually happening. And now somebody's calling me. Why people doing that? But yeah, Reiki, I tried it on myself, but I didn't know what it was. Me, I had a book over chakras, right? Um, Back when I was 18, I was going to Tai Chi, and they had this little library in the Tai Chi shop that you could rent out these books. So I rent out a book, and then I ended up buying it that was over your chakras. So I started doing these exercises to cultivate my chakras and to get them to open up. And I really believe that was probably Reiki I was doing on myself. And what it's supposed to do is to eventually pull you up to your God body, so that you can always stay tapped in through your crown chakra. Um, but it turns out I've been tapped into my Akashic record since I was born. Apparently, that's not common. That's kind of rare, but that's actually a lot of times I found out where I pull information from. But I never go to a I guess they would be licensed I mean, not therapists, massage therapists. But I always seem to find the holistic massage therapist, and they end up doing Reiki. But as they always tell me, you can't do a massage without doing Reiki. So I always get a little bit of Reiki with my massage regardless, and I always feel much different when I leave. Like I feel like $1,000,000 when I leave, and I feel like a brand new person. Because getting a massage and getting all that tension and toxins worked out of your body is one thing, but it's another thing when they hitting you on that spiritual tip as well, and it's cleansing that also. You just feel like you're walking on clouds.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a big difference between receiving a massage from a person who actually cares about, providing you with healing energy versus somebody who's giving you a massage and you could tell like their energy is off or their mind is somewhere else or they're not really present or in it. Um, and so it boils back to how important it is for us to lead with intention and to know ourselves, to know what kind of intention or energy we want to bring forth. Because, as you shared, like praying in the shower and allowing the water to amplify that energetic calling that you're sending out to the universe, like it comes back. And so whenever we are doing any healing work or whenever anybody is present and really bringing their full attention into the here and now, like that's magic in and of itself. And you know, in my practice, holding space for others, whether it be through Reiki or through counseling, sometimes people just need somebody to like hear them out and really listen to them, to really allow themselves to open up and receive what the other person is trying to emit and share and radiate. Um, so yeah, I think that it's it's really important for us to know, how to listen, how to actively listen and pay attention to those subtle cues and micro expressions that are present in another person and to read energy. And this is something that we are already doing. um, I think there's 80% of what we receive on a visual level is what our brain is like processing to better understand our environment around us. And so this is already something that we're already doing, just being a human here on Earth and like interacting with different people. Um, and I think that when we are more aware of like, oh, cool, like I can do this, and also like my energy can impact and influence, that's that's where we can all move mountains as individuals, and also as a collective. Like imagine if we were to bring our intention together and to focus on something that we want to create. And this is something that I'm seeing within Web3, people coming together through community, or people coming together in Web2 and working with each other. It's because everybody is leading with that intention, leading with that energy. And then we have different tools that we can use because everybody's got their own, um, their own stories, their own lessons, their own special talents. And I think that's how we can make a world a better place, coming together and using our differences and using our gifts for the good rather than you know, staying in that frequency of like separation and division. Like it's not the vibe. It's not the vibe.
No, it's definitely not the vibe. There is a thing I did a I did a podcast with a sister of mine on her podcast, and she's on what is it, Spotify podcast or whatever. And I did one over transmutation. And then I did my own episode over transmutation on Brunch Before Lunch last year when I first had started doing these spaces. And that is something I was trying to get people to understand as well, is that yeah, you can listen to, if you want to listen to I guess wild and violent music, or if you want to watch violent TV shows or anything like that, you can do that if you want to. But it's be good if you know how to transmute the energy, because no matter what, you're still getting it. You just might not be getting it positive, because energy is not negative or positive. It just depends on the practitioner using it. So I was taught how to transmute energy, which is literally alchemy, into something else. And I didn't realize that I've been doing that also my entire life. Every time somebody would try to do something to stop me on my path, or to stop me from when I'm doing something good, they try to find a way to be sneaky and do things behind my back. When people do things like that, they don't understand that what they just did is they just elevated you even faster. So that's the reason why hating on people, being mean to people, or seeing somebody is maybe excelling faster than what you were when you did it, and they just seem to be taking off like a rocket, but you're not trying to help them with the pitfalls. You're actually a person digging holes for them to step in. You don't get the what ends up happening is your negative ends up turning transmuted into positive energy, lifting them up, excelling and accelerating their growth faster. And what it's doing is degrading you more. So the more that they excel, the more that you decline. That's the reason why you should be treating people with the utmost love and understanding and affection for whatever they're doing, and not be hating on people, because there's no point. The hating hurts you and helps the person you hating on. So people are really funny, because they get mad about it. Like, oh man, you see what they doing now? Now this don't even make no sense. And then next thing you know, they be like, man, you see they doing something else. My stuff just seems to be getting worse. I can't, my wheels just keep spinning. Yeah, but look at here, dummy. You the one that keep talking hate on somebody, and you just keep picking them up. And then you keep pushing yourself down because you're doing it, when really you should give gratitude to that person, let them leave and do their life in love, and focus on what you need to do. Um, and people give a lot of energy away to that. They do not understand. I've said it before in my space. I watched a documentary over energy vampires, and this one dude, the reporter asked him, "So where do you like to go to try to siphon off energy from people?" And he's like, "To the club." And she was like, "Why would you go to the club?" She said, "Because people don't understand the breakdown of energy transference at all. They do not know that they're not conscious enough to know that their energy is just leaking out. And when they're moving around with music and being around people, he's like, it amplifies their energy and it's just leaking out." He's like, "And we just sit out here and we just watch it all float to the top of the ceiling. And it's just sitting there." He's like, "And we just take it in." I was like, that's crazy as hell. So like I said, you might not have to believe in something. That's fine. You ain't got to believe in it. But it just means you're not taking the advantage of what you could do if you were conscious enough and you could actually use it in a positive way. Um, Dang, this is a really, really good episode on Brunch Before Lunch. We about to hit the top of the hour of 1 o'clock. We are here talking with Jennifer, who is a Reiki master and a Canadian certified counselor. We having a fantastic conversation. Um, I'm just really loving this. I say we gonna definitely give some more time to talk, and then I'll actually let Callie come up and speak, or anybody that want to talk to you about anything. But we're gonna keep going through some stuff. because I do have time today, even though I got like some pressure in my head right now and all that kind of craziness. We not stopping this at all because I've been waiting for this. Um, I wanted to get into you're the founder of Eco Alignment. So what is Eco Alignment by chance?
Oh, that's a great question. Which comes back to me be okay, so you can imagine me in university. I'm studying sociology, and I know that I want to help people. I want to, become a psychologist. At the time, that's the idea that I had in my head. And so one of our teachers gave us a personal project to complete. And so I decided that for my personal project, I would become a like social media influencer, a micro influencer. This was like something that was up and coming at the time. I don't know what year this was, but yeah. And so then I was thinking about, okay, what's my handle? Like, what's my name? What's my brand? And my teacher had expressed how there were a lot of micro influencers who were using their own name. They were. Um, it just made things easier. And he proposed this idea of instead of me using my name, to instead think about a message that I would like to promote. So it's not necessarily something that is like, ego driven, so to speak. But there's intention behind it. So I find myself in my bedroom and being like, okay, what is the perfect the perfect message of what I want to um, kind of like echo through time, like, and I really thought of this from an existential level, like, okay, if I were to, you know die tomorrow, like, what would be the legacy that I would leave? What would be the message that I would allow echo through time? And then I received, like, it wasn't something that I created. I really believe that I received this from the universe. The words were so clear. It was echo alignment. And I was like, that's it. That's what it is. And so when I had received this, I was, I was still very young. I started like posting like little pictures about like, reduce, reuse, recycle, and like, take care of your health and eat well. Like I was so cute, so cute. And, just focusing on like, our basic needs. If we take care of our basic needs, then we're good, we're chill. But that message has transformed with me like through time. It's a very transformational and healing experience to really like dive deeper into the intention of echo alignment, because then it brings up these questions of like, okay, first, what is alignment? What does that mean? And if I'm being really honest with myself, what does that look like? And so there are so many different paths that I have taken with the idea of echo alignment. Like not too long ago, I had this idea of like bringing a whole lot of people together in community, and that's the intention behind everything. Really bringing people together, unifying our energies and our intentions to really echo alignment on a grand scale. If I echo alignment, then you echo alignment, then everybody else echoes alignment. And it has that kind of domino effect. And I've come to the realization where it's like this is already happening. Like I don't need to do anything or be anything other than myself. And when I ask myself the question, like, what does alignment mean for me? What does that look like for me? It's being really honest about where I'm at in this time and place. And right now, like I'm really grateful that I have the opportunity to hold space for other people through Reiki, through counseling. So echo alignment is like my private practice where I bridge the gap between science and spirituality. And it's not to say that some clients are just counseling, counseling psychology based. They don't care about like the whole energy or spirituality, and it's fine, like it's that's their belief system, that's their prerogative, and I can operate from that place as well because that's where my training's in. But then for those who are interested in like bringing in like the counseling realm into the energetic realm, that's where I shine. I feel like that's something that's really aligned with me. So I'm very happy that this is something that I can commit to. And yeah, it's just an intention that I've been working with ever since I received it from the universe, and it's showing me who I really am, and it's really like peeling back the layers, removing the masks in places where I'm still wearing the mask or where my spiritual ego is still present, and learning how to be humble, learning how to, you know, really be human in this world, and to not power trip with some idea that I think I am in my head, when in reality it's like, Jen, like you're just like everybody else. You don't have to be that special, like, and it's okay, like you're good enough, you could just be you. um, yeah, that's where I'm at when it comes to to echo alignment.
Okay. I like that because it kind of reminds me of like echolocation with like bats or dolphins and it's it's nice because the echo of what it bounces off of, bounces back. So echo alignment, I think that's perfect. And to be honest with you, people can call me whatever they want to call me, but I know I'm special. I might not have thought I was special at one point in time in my life, but they wanna they wanna allow me to think of myself anything different at this point. So unapologetically, I have to be who I am, and this is who I am. I'm not arrogant about it. I'm very helpful to people. I don't throw any of the things that I am capable of doing in people's faces, because if I do, they gonna check me for it, and it's not cool. I mean, it's one thing when your mama give you a spanking. It's another thing when something on the other side gives you a spanking. It's not the same. It's much worse. They sit you down. They sit you down and to make you think about it. But I think that's really cool that that came to you like that, because that means you were tapped in at the time to receive that message. And I've said that a lot to people in my space as well as other spaces I've been in, is that sometimes you never know what needs to happen for you to be able to receive the message. I changed the dude's whole rest of his life, and I had counseling with him in a bathroom at a comedy special that had DL Hughley in Oklahoma. And it sounds crazy, but my ancestors was like, this dude's just like pissed off standing in the bathroom by the hand blowers. And my ancestors like, you need to talk to him. And I'm like, I'm saying to them inside of my head, in the fucking bathroom? Like, really? You want me to talk to him in the bathroom? That seems a little weird. Might get you beat up kind of stuff. But I was like, okay. So I started talking to the dude, and next thing you know, from that point on, I saw him in like, I think it was like, it had to be like March or something, the next year, because I saw him in December. And he straight up told me, he was like, bro, my life changed that day in that bathroom. I was like, because I asked him, when did it change? And he was like, to be honest with you, he's like, you know what? It started changing the next day. So everything that he said that he wanted in that bathroom to me, talking to me and me counseling him, he actually did. And he didn't even remember that he did it. And he was like, maybe I shouldn't have been drunk for that. I said, no, you needed to have been drunk for that, because if you weren't drunk or under the influence, you wouldn't have been able to receive the message, because from what he was telling me, he would have been too uptight to even take in the message. So you never know when you're supposed to get that message from somebody. You know what I mean? And it's just for people who don't care about helping people and don't really like people like that. I get that, especially for how the world is today. But when you actually genuinely helping somebody, it has nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with your ego. You just being a helpful person. The universe or like my ancestors and the deities are telling me what to tell this person to help them, to see them change their lives later. And a lot of times they don't even remember that they even talked to you, which is why I jokingly say to my friend, the movie Inception, I know all about it because I've been doing Inception on people since I was a kid, planting ideas in people's heads, and them thinking that they came up with it when really I did. But I said it to them in a way that made them think that they came up with it, and it's always positive. I ain't never told nobody no negative stuff that's gonna cause their world to crumble or to hurt people or nothing. But um, there are just certain people out there that are really supposed to be out there helping wake up the minds of people and wake people's consciousness up. And there are a lot more people waking up today than I've heard. It's much easier to find more like-minded people um through this stuff and less people looking at you all weird because of what you're actually into. And I found a lot of like-minded people with that here on X, which is why I'm here all the time.
I love it. I love it. And, I completely agree. I find that we are coming in such a great time in humanity where we have the tools to connect with each other. Right now, like I'm in a completely different country and city, but I can connect with all of you, and I can just, receive from your names and your pictures, and like tap into that energy and receive a lot of safety from it too. Um, and I think that's what's beautiful about technology. Like we have the tools to connect with one another. And it begs this question, how can we use this tool to our advantage and help share our wisdom and I'm seeing 111 and express our truth. And I really believe that we all have keys to help unlock each other. And it's really through meaningful conversations and leading with good intentions that help us receive like that benefit, that good juju type thing. So I really like that story that you shared about um, listening to your ancestors and heeding that call, because you could have decided not to speak with him in the washroom. Um, you could have decided to just go about your way, but you gave your time, you gave your energy, you gave your presence, and in turn, you get to receive, and he gets to receive as well. And I think that's something that we can forget whenever we're in a relationship with somebody or in whatever situationship. Like there's so much that we can say to another person, and there's also so much that we don't have to say to another person. For instance, there have been moments in my personal journey where I meet somebody or I encounter somebody, and there's a question that comes to mind, and it's something that I want to know about them. And I will just hold the question in my mind, and as they express themselves to me, they will answer my question, and I didn't have to say anything. And this is something that I imagine everybody else has practiced or encountered on their end. But there's a lot of power in just holding space for our curiosity and being open and coming from a place of kindness and understanding that gives us the opportunity to receive more from the other, because the other person feels so safe to share and to express rather than repress and suppress. Um, so yeah, I think that there's a lot of power in having these conversations and being present. And when we can harness our own energy to really embody that safety, we become portals of healing for other people.
That's what it's all about. That's what I hear all the time. And I don't know what it is. It's just something about you. You're just so, I don't know, you're so calming. And I just feel like I could just, open up and tell you anything. And people do, okay? People do. My whole life. My mom, it happens to her. To me, it happens even more. People will tell me things they don't tell anybody. And I've only known them for 5 minutes in like the grocery store on like the chip aisle or something. And they'll tell me all kinds of secrets. And they'll always say the same thing. This is always what they say. Well, damn, I can't believe I just told you that. It's like I don't tell anybody. I don't even know. I just met you 5 minutes. I can't believe I just told you like a secret of myself or something like that. I'm like, I just always tell them the same thing. It's cool. I mean, it's still a secret because I ain't telling nobody. So it's just between me and you. And some of us people out there that people feel that comfortable with being able to almost feel like they're talking to like a loving parent or something like that. We need people out there, whether you went and got education for it and got a certification or you didn't, because at the end of the day we both are doing a job. And I tell people the bill always has to be paid. You are building great karma just by helping somebody change their mindset, to maybe get through something else they need to in life to get to the next level. And that needs to be taken more in a more account from people, and really looked at more than somebody needs a dollar amount all the time. Now, granted, we all got to get paid. We got bills to pay. We got babies to feed. We got lives to live. I get that. Um, but you don't have to think about that all the time. And if you're not trying to force that every single time somebody's trying to get some help from you or something, then what ends up happening is you become the rock in the river, and everything leads to you. So then you don't even have to go nowhere and search out for monies or opportunities. They're literally laying right at your feet. So that's what another thing I think people need to pay attention to as well. Man,
Yeah.
we cooking like hell on here today.
We really are. We really, really are. I love this. I love this so much. And I think that it makes a lot of sense for somebody who is offering, just good energy and positive vibes and healing in this world to be able to receive the abundance in return. Um, so to your point, I think it's 100% okay to request that like exchange of energy. And this is something that I had to learn on my end in the way where given my background in a little bit of like business, I really thought I'm like, oh my God, I'm like in this place where I'm learning how to manipulate people to like give me money or like uh, be in a higher power dynamic than them. Like it didn't feel right for me. So asking for money for like my own business, for holding space for other people, like that was something that was really challenging because I'm like, well, I'm a good person. I just want to give. Like this is just what I want to do. Like I don't want to have to like receive, in exchange. But then I learned it's like, okay, well, you have to like take care of yourself. The number one thing is like putting your own oxygen mask first, and like from that place, then you can give from the place of like um, overflow. And so it's a learning journey. It's a learning journey, like giving and receiving. And when I was little, I learned how to give to the point where I was depleted of my energy. I was angry. I was resentful. Um, I didn't want to give anymore. Like I really wanted to like just preserve my own energy and protect myself. And I think that's why boundaries are so important. And boundaries is what I talk a lot about when I'm holding space for clients in the way where, okay, yes, there's an exchange of energy in terms of you paying me for my services. And that comes with a lot of like good value, because if we are to ask for help, we kind of have to commit and make that investment in ourselves. And so that exchange of energy is a representation of that. And what I like to provide is more value than what the other person may be expecting of the on the other end of the line. For instance, a reflection of this may look like um, my counseling sessions look like 1 hour, but I have the tendency of going overtime with my clients all the time, because when we hit the 1 hour mark, it's like, oh my God, like there's not enough and we're just getting to the good stuff. So like I will be so happy to give more and more and more from that place, because I know that that's something that will benefit them. And then what's really important for me is to also be aware, okay, well, the other person also has like their own lives, their own time and energy. So it's important for me to check in with them. Like, can I still give to you now? Or do we, do we end the session now and we we create more space and time at a later place? So um, yeah, this is like a long story to say how boundaries are so important. Protecting our energy is so important. Um, and it all comes down to like really knowing yourself, knowing what you need, and knowing who you are. Like I know for myself as a highly sensitive person, I could I could see clients like back to back, but it's not my preferred way of seeing clients. I like to have a little bit of space in between to like cleanse my energy and think about something else rather than just consistently like being in service to other people. Um, so I think what's really important when we are doing this helping and healing work is to also be mindful of our own energetic resources, like checking in with our own social battery, checking in with, did we drink enough water today? Did we move our body? Um, did we have time for play? It's not just about doing all of this beautiful healing work, but there's also like other aspects of our identity that make us who we are that are important, and they don't need to be neglected. So finding that balance and anchoring into that deep alignment, um, that's that's what's like super important for all of us.
Facts. I'm a bit of a workaholic. So I have to work on that, pulling myself back and not not letting myself burn out. Um it's something I've been working on. I'm probably have to work on it my whole life because that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired. I could do a lot of things all at one time, retain all the information from everything that I'm doing, um, and be able to give the information out to help somebody from all the stuff that I'm learning at the same time. That is a crazy brain. But I feel that's like a priority or a requisite to being, I don't know, highly successful, because that's just kind of the way people's brains work. But you got to be careful with that because it can definitely put you in the grave way before your time, because your little organs and everything in your body factory, it's running on overtime all the time. You know what I mean? And the times that you feel weak, that you know you need to just chill, you don't. You just keep pushing, and then next thing you know, you end up in the hospital. So those are definitely important things because for for people who really want to grasp the concept of what we're talking about with energy, every single thing that you do requires your energy. You leave a little piece of yourself on everything. Rather that's if you open a door, you're leaving a piece of yourself. When you get in your car, you touch your steering wheel, your energy's all in the car. When you sleep in your bed, your energy's there. Like your toothbrush, like you give a little piece of your energy with every single thing that you do all day. You touch any of that because energy is required for everything. Whether you see it or know about it or not, you're doing it. So you have to be conscious enough to be able to try practices you've never done before, just so you can learn how to cultivate that energy in yourself. so that it overflows abundantly, and you'll be more conscious, and you won't burn out because you'll feel that I might need to chill. So and you will. Um, and then other times, you need to go, full throttle, and you will. So it's just very, very helpful. And I'm grateful to have these conversations, and I'm grateful of the people that are in the space, as well as the people that are listening in on the live as well. It's just this is to me, this is a milestone for me, because I when I first started doing this back in July last year, I was like, man, I want to guest on my show. Like I'm like, my brain really be thinking like Joe Rogan type of type of shows for real. But I was like, dang, I want somebody on there. Never happened. It never happened last year. Never Things never lined up. I never talked to people where I was like, I want to interview you or have you on my show. But Jennifer randomly comes into Wake and Bake. And I'm like, hold up, her name's Jennifer. I think that means something. And then I click on there, and it said Reiki Master. And I was like, God damn it, that's what I'm talking about. We're in a good spot. Okay. So then we started chatting in the DMs. I think we chatted for like, it was hours. And we were doing long form texts with each other in the DMs. They weren't no short little like they were paragraphs. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, yep, she's who I want to interview, because I want people to know about this stuff. I want to learn a bit more about it. And I think we can have a very great and memorable conversation that can help a lot of people. So I'm so glad that we did it. Uh, I got one more thing to talk about, and then Callie, I'm gonna let you up, and anybody else want to come up, and I'll let y'all speak your piece and let you talk to Jennifer. But I wanted to ask you about that. It shows that you partner with ReikiDiscovery.org. Okay, break that down for me a little bit, please.
Mhm. So ReikiDiscovery.org is actually a business that Inga, my Reiki teacher master, is building. And so what she's doing is she's bringing all of the different Reiki masters that are already present in this world all together on a virtual platform so that many different people around the world can receive Reiki energy healing. Um, so I've been blessed, honestly, in my personal journey. Like it started with me asking for help. It started with me receiving help from Inga. She was the one who gave me my attunements. And from there, she made me the offer of being part of this big mission and vision that she has that's very much aligned with my own. So it's been really cool. Like I've held space for people in different parts of the world, and it's really like through this technology that gives me the opportunity to do so. Because I can't like straight up like get on a plane and go to, let's say, Florida, to hold space for somebody like uh, on a whim. So it's really cool to have the opportunity to send distance Reiki energy healing um, to different people. And what's really nice is I'm a firm believer that it is possible for us to connect with like-minded individuals um, who like are almost like our best friends, and we will only know if they are our best friends if we put ourselves out there and we step into like the discomfort of stepping outside of our comfort zone. So for me, like I remember like being in school and always like, living my life behind a screen, so to speak. Everybody else was out there having fun, living their best lives, and I was like just doing homework and trying to get by. Um, but I see how all of the hard work and dedication that I put in gives me the opportunity to be here, present on a space. Like I really helped create a life that works best for me in the way where I don't like being micromanaged. I like creating my own schedule. I love connecting with people who share the same beliefs as myself and who also challenge my own belief system. So when we were talking, Jonathan, like through the DMs, I was just like, wow, it's the first time in a really long time that I'm having an actual conversation with somebody through chat. And it brought me back to like my high school days where I would like have these conversations in college, and I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've like actually socialized like outside the realm of like helping people. Like I need to like get more out there and like like activate the friend in me. Um so yeah, anyhow, I'll get back to the question. ReikiDiscovery.org is an online platform where you can connect with different Reiki masters, Inga, myself, and other people. And we each have our own like unique code, energetic code. So depending on what you're looking for, what you want to receive in your own personal journey, this is that little signal where you can find your perfect holistic practitioner based off of their own profile, their own personality, what they're bringing to the table. So my profile right now reads um, un- untapping your authentic voice, like really getting honest about who you are. And now I'm in a point in my personal journey where I'm exploring the themes related to taking full responsibility of ourselves, stepping into our sovereignty, and really coming from a place of calling our power back so that we can uh, shine like the bright stars that we are and lead meaningful lives. So I'm really anchoring deeper into the themes that revolve around leadership, self responsibility, and activating that, taking action on that. So I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that um, there are many of you within the audience who are also like listening to me rant and feel super like shy as I'm like expressing who I am and what I'm about. But I'm so grateful, Jonathan, for you opening up the space for me to share my truth. And I think it's really cool how and pretty synchronous how your sister's name is also Jennifer. Like what? Oh, it's so aligned. It's so aligned.
100%. Cause that's why when I saw that, I was like, nah, y'all speaking to me. There's a reason that her name is Jennifer, and that's your sister's name. And I'm like, nah, yeah, I'm gonna follow that. I have a lot of things that speak to me. I know a lot of y'all may know because I've said it before, but from a woman who allows, she does masthetics. And if you don't know what a masthetic is, that's where she allows the deities to inhabit her and speak to the people that are there in the room. And one of them came through, one of the deities, which was her, his name is Yosef. Yosef is a um, he's like a gorilla deity. He's a black man, African man, but he has the ability to transform into a gorilla. And the teachings of the things that she teach, her name is Quatita, and she has a space where she teaches people on YouTube. And when he came through, at first everybody was looking at me and they was like, "Oh, damn!" And I'm like, what's wrong? Is something on my face?" You hear a bunch of people in the classroom and they be like, "Man, is there something on my face or whatever?" And they like, "Nah, there's this like." There's this crazy ass glow around you. Like it's just white. It's extremely bright and taking over the screen. She's like, you're just I just it's just overwhelming almost. So then Yosef comes through and he's like, yeah, yeah, I know you. And I'm like, you know me? What you mean you know me? Because he called me out by name. I'm just sitting in the crowd, right? He literally said, Jonathan, I need you to come up to the stage. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, what happened? And he's like, yeah, we know you. We know you very well on the other side. You're Dr. Doolittle. Yeah, you the guy that are connected with animals. Like animals send you messages and stuff all the time. And I'm like, You know what? He right. They do send me that all the time. So that's why I found out my affinity with animals, and they do. If I feel really sad, there are these birds that come by. They're called what is it? Eastern bluebirds here in North Carolina. I don't normally see them ever, but if I feel really sad, I'm breaking down, or I'm feeling like I want to be, I'm eating like that. It's three birds every time. Oh, so I don't know what was going on. My OBS is like disconnected or acting weird right now while I'm trying to have this conversation. But anyway, as long as I'm still on here talking, we still going. Can everybody still hear me? Okay, cool. Then we just gonna keep going. I don't know what that was. But anyway, so that actually is where I find out about things. Is trying out different stuff, and I'm connected to a whole lot of other things. And I know that's based on my bloodline, or where my actual heritage comes from. And those are things that people need to look into as well, if you can, because I know it's hard for a lot of people to look into that type of stuff. But if you can, tracing your lineage actually tells you a lot of stuff. My uncle used to tell me all the time when we used to sit and chill that he was like, his theory that he really believed was that a lot of the excuse me, a lot of the great a lot of families in Africa, his belief is they all had certain abilities that is connected specifically to their bloodline. And that's what his belief is. And as the years went on after that, because he told me this at 18, I found out that that's true. He didn't read that anywhere. He just like pretty much pulled that out the ethers while we was having a conversation. And so tracing those kind of things are, they can be pretty important, not just for health purposes, but they actually might help you to know more about your path and why certain things happen to you. Because yeah, Jennifer, if I didn't take if I didn't choose to take the path, then the can will get kicked down the road. I am the only boy. I'm the firstborn of my father, and I'm the only boy that is born under my mother. So they when I was at that mistake um on the internet, they straight up told me that you're it. Like, you're the chain breaker. You're the one that's gonna set all the knock all the dominoes down and reset the scale. And for somebody to tell you that is, it could be a little bit overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I didn't want to be a leader and in the front. I enjoyed manipulating things from the shadows. That's why I felt more comfortable. Um, but I always got forced to be in the front. No matter if I didn't want to, I would get forced to. So to hear that, and then to start looking back at your life where random people are grabbing you by the arm and looking at you and just like staring into your soul and telling you things like, you got a major calling on your life. Like, I can see it. Like, it's crazy what's going on. And your aura is just, it's just glowing. Like, it's almost like like the sun. And hearing those things was a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something that I took on right at first. Somebody randomly grabbing you and telling you that you're walking down the street, and then you ask them to repeat it, and then it's almost like a light bulb didn't click back off in their head. And they're like, "What? I didn't say nothing to you." So what was talking through them to me? That's why I tell people, you can believe what you want to believe. My beliefs are based on what I've been through and what I'm constantly going through. And having Jennifer up here talking about it, it 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 really brings it even more home for me. And it just makes me feel good as hell. That's all I can say. Makes me feel good as hell. Um, to actually push through it and do what I'm doing now, and not trying to focus on what I want it to be, down the road or anything like that, because all those things are gonna they're gonna happen and it's gonna play out how it's supposed to play out. But for me to just have fun up here with y'all and just to try to incorporate the things that I've been learning and that I'm interested in and telling y'all, and maybe it may help somebody else or even just one person. Um, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, yeah. And you know that that happiness that you feel and the joy that you feel is just a reflection of like being aligned and in health. And I think that whenever we are feeling happy and like things are just working out for us, we don't necessarily have to like lift we don't have to like lift a finger. It's effortless, and that's where like abundance really comes through when we align ourselves to our truth, when we align ourselves to what we're meant to do and be, and uh, our purpose in this life, our own unique calling that looks different for everybody. uh, Mountains move, things shift, and I think there's so much beauty in that. And I know you had named how that Miss had noticed you being surrounded by animals, and when you mentioned that, it made me think of the black cat. It was really the black, like the black cat was a symbol that initiated you to your healing path, and really helped confirm like this is where you're meant to be. um, and I think it's great for us to all come together and to validate that confirmation, you know, and to just be ourselves, whether we're the speaker right now or the listener on the other end. Like we're just channeling wisdom and helping each other grow and evolve in our own unique journeys. And there's so much power in that.
There really is. I mean, it's crazy because people, this is like a fantastic episode, and it just like lets me know like that there are probably some great and many conversations to come with even with you coming back and different people and different walks of life. Um, I'm excuse me. I'm like over the moon because 5 years ago this is what I wanted to do, but I was not in the right headspace yet to be able to do it unapologetically and not care what somebody thinks. If you don't show up for my space and support me, okay. But at a certain point, like I've said many times, I'm gonna start wondering, do you care at all? Because if I'm supporting people all the time and you can't support me like I support you even a little bit occasionally, then I don't know how much you really say you think we are friends because I don't do things like that. Now we don't have to be exactly the same, but I do expect something. Because even a like and a repost is super simple. And people will sit up there and call you friend and buddy all day and won't even do that for you. And that to me is really just not cool. So we have to we have to actually, you know, hang out with people and try to bring people in our life that really are going to support us, that believe in us because like I said before, you are giving out your energy to anything and everything. So why not give it out to somebody that's giving their energy to you? And then there you go. Y'all done cultivated something together and y'all growing together. This has just been fantastic. Dang, I don't even know what to say. It's if my head wasn't so congested right now, I probably have more to say, but I don't. So I don't know. Callie, did you did you have something that you wanted to say or a question you wanted to ask Jennifer?
I wanted to thank Jennifer for being here and honoring her for being Reiki Master Healer, Love Giver. And I wanted to say, Jonathan, thank you for the space. I You reminded me of it and I got here late, but because the universe is so aligned and everything on divine time, I'm here. And the message is this: they're calling the most powerful healers to the front. So do with that information whatever you want. But I'm sitting here with Lisa Campion's book, The Art of Psychic Reiki. I've been studying for maybe 3 years, Jennifer, and I've been self attuning. Man, I've learned so much. Madame Takarda came to me. It was wild. Oh my God. We not going there. We gotta, I'm sure y'all been in the space a while, but it's a lot going on and a lot to be done. And I love everything that you were saying, Jennifer. I know you've probably been, I missed probably how long you've been practicing and all that, but um, I already know some of the probably hardship of even getting out there and saying this, and then pushing it even further to say, I have this gift and it was bestowed to me. Because that's how it came to me. I came in on the part where you were saying your business name, Echo Alignment, which I love, by the way, because that's exactly what it is. You see. So you did get that out of the divine. I didn't get that gracious of a thing. I'm ghetto alien when I'm channeling other entities and things, but that was the name given to me. And there's even a greater story behind it. But I like what you said in that um, they're gathering. The healers are gathering. Um, I know it to be because there is mass work to be done. On my side of things, I've been putting it in the music. And listen, the music does it on its own. So let me not make it sound like that. There's frequency in the music that's doing something to you or not doing something for you. And that's pretty much what it is. But me, I'm taking it a step further and putting the Reiki energy in the music purposely, going through my attunements right before I record, putting it on a ghost track, 432 hertz, 963, 888, whatever. I try to keep it in alignment. I always put a love tone. So let me put it there because that's all that exists. But I'm swinging that way. And I came in on you speaking about echoing alignment and the sound healing. And then I was like, oh, thank God it's today that I get to meet you and really everybody. Um, so we can channel the bridge into what does happen next. There's so many, I'm in a part of a few Reiki groups on Facebook. And it's so like, it's such a crazy world inside of those group chats um, because there's so much energy going on, and a lot of people are trying to literally find their way through, and we're all doing it. Because, like I said, my journey's been about like 3 years, and even the way that I started to study it was, you're not going to believe it, but my upstairs neighbor was fighting with her boyfriend again, and she said, "You know what? The Reiki masters make 250K a year. I'm out of here." And she like, this was a real conversation, by the way, Jennifer. I'm not lying. And I don't mean to bring money in, Jonathan, except we are paid for our gifts this time around from the
You
divine.
fine. I'm trying to get paid too. Nah, you fine.
Yeah, we listen. The message is this, and this is no lie. I shake crystals all the time when I'm in the space. Jennifer, I read the energies of the space. I'm an energy reader, healer. Reiki too. I'm gonna be honest. I've been using it on myself and my bulldog, and I just recently got. I mean, when the universe wants you to use a gift, Jonathan, they'll make you talk to a man in a bathroom. Okay, literally. Um, Whenever you have a message to relay, because see, the universe is always on time with the message. If you are there to receive, well, that's on you. But the universe is on time with the message, which is why you would listen to the inner voice and speak to the man, and why Jennifer would do it her whole life, and why I would do it now. For the last 3 years, I've literally had to get in Ubers and start reading the person, which is quite ridiculous, but proof of we don't know what's going on. We aren't omnipotent like the energy that's driving us is. So it's like we're there. Something is always going on. If you're in place, you are saving a life, you know. So it gets very intricate, the details and how we are being used. But like I said, I mean, I'm just grateful for this episode. I'll have to definitely run it back from the top because this is the beginning of something more grand. Yes, I don't know how it goes, but it definitely is. I don't know if it's a weekly thing. I don't know if it's monthly. I don't know. The healers are involved, is what I'm being told. Um, so it's definitely a meeting of that energy. And then all of the ways that, man, I don't know. And I don't know how many ways you've seen it, Jennifer, or even you, Jonathan, who, by the way, is just, again, like I said, being pulled to the front. Anything on your mind right now is divinely purposed. If you're singing again, sing. If you're dancing again, dance. If you're writing again, poetry, music, rap, do it now. Because I don't know what's going on, but I think we're going to get a new song, you know? And everybody sings along, I'm told. But I don't know, you know? I channel through a lot of things. And one of the things, Jennifer, you said also stood out to me. And then I'll promise I'm getting off because, whoo, I'm buzzing. Um, you said that it was like a time where, man, I'm trying to bring it back. Hold on one second. There was a time where you weren't sharing the gift, or you weren't out, and you were like, how do I get this started? And that's where kind of I am, outside of, um I said, myself and my dog, the universe put me right in the home with an older gentleman going through cancer treatment. And I kid you not, like, we met under the craziest circumstances. The story's too long, but the cliff notes are: you will be where you are supposed to be, um, with the message that you're supposed to have and the gift that you have. And it showed me, like, I would have never like tried to practice yet on someone, um, outside of me, but I did. And man, the outcome, just incredible. When people realize the power that they are awakening from within, it can be instant. Well, that's how you can receive, if you're able to receive. And that's another thing Jennifer was saying, being able to receive. That's so important. But I think we're at a time now, to be honest, the magnetism, the spiritualism, the magnetism of the spiritualism is working so well that we are in the same room right now, you know, by design. So I'm just thankful and happy. I'm grateful, is really what it is, to know that I've been doing the work, so the work has been being done. And that's what every time we're in this space of healing and learning of our gifts and getting back to our one spirit form from the divine mind, it's hard work. I mean, it's crazy work. Let's be real. Yes, I'm saying the C word. It's crazy work. It's delusional. It's faith. And you got to step out on it. You got to be willing to talk to that stranger, and then you find out nobody's a stranger. Everybody's just you pushed out. So treat everything with kindness. Um, so I've seen a lot of things, heard, taste, smell, all the realms. Um, but it's definitely a time now where, like I said, the healers are coming to the front, the most powerful ones, and you're going to be doing what you don't want. But you might as well get heart centered in it, because it's a grand plan. It's not just us. It's a dance. We really are being used. And for that, we just have to, whatever your worship and gratitude is, however you, and what literally, it's whatever your worship and gratitude is to the universal life force that's driving us, like you, that's on you. And that's why it has to be, um, a practice that you are coming into self. And Jonathan, we've talked about like the shadow work, the inner child healing, all the similar things that we went through as we were meeting, and I'm like, is this crazy guy doing the crazy things that I'm doing? And man, we connected with so many. And so here it was true. And I'm just here to say it gets bigger and bigger. You know, part of my gift, I mean, I'm an expander of energy, and I alchemize everything. Everything, because energy is never stopping, it's never dying, it's always changing and moving, it's always transmuting. So when I say like all can be alchemized, every little thing, if you know that thing. Three birds, Jonathan. That's so funny. It's still three birds. You know who it was three birds for?
No.
Bob Marley.
Oh
Go listen.
shit.
When he was
Okay.
feeling down, three birds came on my window, my doorstep, swinging, singing sweet, sweet songs or something. A melody, true and bright. This is a message for you. That's what it. Go listen to the lyrics. You're gonna trip.
Is that well?
But
Hold up. Is that
yeah,
the name of the song?
no, it's called Don't worry about a thing.
Oh, that
Everything's gonna
one.
be all right. Yeah.
Oh
Go
wow.
listen to the verse. And you know what's so crazy? You know, I was picking things apart, but he says the first verse and the second verse. That's how you know it's a like vision. It's the same. He just repeats it because it's an infinity. Like he just, you know. So for sure, the universe is speaking to all of us in the room. Um, all of us outside of the room too. But we here are recognizing it to belong to, you know, us as a whole collective. So thank you, Jonathan. I know you probably wrapping up now at 2 o'clock, or that's just probably me trying to go get lunch or something. But I think this was perfect if perfection did exist. So thank you.
Man, you welcome. You 100%. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We never have a dull conversation. Jennifer, I don't know if you got anything that you want to say.
I do. I do. I have so much to say. Callie, thank you so much for coming up on stage. Oh my goodness. Um, yes to everything. I'm just gonna set the intention that I'm gonna echo everything that you expressed. And it's so interesting that you are, infusing Reiki into your music because in my own personal journey, like I decided like over the weekend that I was going to create music and actually not just be an aspiring artist, but to embody the role of artist. Um, so thank you for that confirmation. It's what I needed to receive on my end. And yeah, just to bridge off of what you shared, I'm a big fan of Carl Jung, like a psychologist who explored the unconscious and the conscious realms. And he expressed, in all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. And I firmly believe that it's one of the reasons why, like, we all find ourselves here navigating this world, um, meeting challenges, facing obstacles, but we can all transform that, by how we perceive it. For one person who looks at a roller coaster and may feel fear, another person may feel excitement. And so depending on where we're coming from and how we perceive things, that's within our power, that's within our scope of control. And when we can step into that place and really master our own chemistry, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our silences, non-actions, we really step into that place where we can make mountains move. So thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for stepping on stage and really shining your light. It's the first time I hear of the art of psychic Reiki. It sounds like a beautiful book. Um, and that's the kicker, like Reiki is something that is usually um, transferred, let's say, or not transferred, it's the wrong word, but is, Like a person will receive their initiation from teacher, master, Reiki practitioner to student. But I am of firm belief that we can also channel that energy outside the realms of school, of that official learning. And it really depends on the practitioner. Like for myself, I will definitely um, continue the tradition of Usui Reiki when I initiate my students and the next generation of Reiki practitioners into the world. Um, but I think that we are in a time and place in this life, in this dimension, where we're all bestowed so many gifts from the time that we're born. And it really depends on whether or not we find ourselves in an environment that can nurture those gifts and support them coming to life and being realized to their full potential versus not. So I'm hoping that with our presence, with our intention, everybody feels safe to be who they are. I know it's been a journey on my end, being able to say this out loud and to not feel ashamed and guilty, you know, or not have this image of me being burnt at the stake type thing. Like it is really cool. Is really, really cool because I imagine in my previous lives it looked different. Um, but yeah, I think what's most important now is for us to really anchor into our truth and to be honest with who we are. And that can look like many different versions, you know, in our own personal journey. Like right now, I'm holding the titles of Reiki Master and Canadian Certified Counselor. And I'm also going to honor like the little girl inside me who wants to be a singer. Like, and that's okay too. Healing comes in so many different forms. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. What matters most are the connections that we make and the impact that we bring to this world. Because that's what we leave. That's what we allow echoing through time. Really, our love, our intention, our good vibes. So yeah.
I haven't heard you sing one note, Jennifer, and I'm told you got a beautiful voice. Um, Singers, voice is the strongest thing that for motivating. So
Yeah.
it, like I said, if your voice is beautiful, I know that it is.
Mhm.
Yes, you're back in a
Thank
big
you.
way, and it's in the it's in the it's in the sessions too for the new who are coming in, because that's the one thing I wanted to mention. You guys, we can all be nervous together. This is new on this grander of, some people have been practicing for many years, 20 years or more. I've met people practicing the art, but like when it comes to like a resurgence or where it's going to be used in mass healing is now. So we doing it together, and thank you. And yes, I'm tripling, quadrupling, a million times doubling down on the voice and its ability to heal you specifically,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Jonathan, for bringing us all together so we can connect. I love this.
No problem. I'm just in a spot in my life right now where I just don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and the people who's supposed to be here will be here, and the people that won't be here, they're gonna come around later. I'm not gonna say it's too late because time was constructed by man anyway, but you be thinking like, man, the type of growth that you could have if you just, pardon my language, get your head out of your ass and stop being a part of the group. And if something calls for you to go try that out or listen, then do. We wouldn't even be here right now if I was a closed minded person, because I was getting unemployment 1 year, 4 years ago, and I was bored. I couldn't sleep or nothing, but I'm still getting a check every week. And I was like, man, I'm on X all the time. I was like, let me check out some of these spaces. So I started checking out spaces and everything, and I started finding out things that I wanted to be into, and I just started going to those more. People, that's why I was saying at the beginning of this is people need to have more of a heart of a child, and they need to actually just go out there and have fun and not try to focus on some kind of dollar amount income or in game or it should be this and this amount. It has nothing to do with that. Like things are gonna come to you when they're supposed to, and you're gonna have to bust your ass and go through a bunch of shit before it actually pays off in the end, no matter what. So you might as well enjoy it while you can and try out different things because I do a John's nightcap every night. And the only day that it won't be done is today because I probably won't be awake at that time to do it. But it just came out of nowhere. One of my ancestors just told me, it was like, you know what, you should do a recap tonight, like right now. Because if anybody knows, if your ancestors or deities are speaking to you, you do not get to tell them, I'll do it later. They will shut shit down until you do it right now, or they'll keep yelling at you. So I just I just immediately start writing it up right then and there. And then people liked it. So now I do it and it's called John's Nightcap. So I literally do a nightcap of all the spaces I've been in. I talk about the people that's been in it, what I took from each space. And to be honest with you, I was never a writer. Like never. I'm an artist. I like to draw. Well, I used to draw, but now my energy of art has passed on to many other things. Um, but it turns out I'm more of a writer than what I realize. I'm more of an editor than I realize because as I watch a scene or a clip of something that I recorded, my brain, whether it's them or whoever, will automatically put in the picture or the gif or whatever joke or whatever needs to be in that scene as I'm watching it. So then all I'm doing is going back to find that. Rather, I got to go on YouTube and splice stuff and make it and put it in there. The whole thing is already made for me in my head before I don't have to think about any of this stuff. Even when I chop this up, I'm not gonna have to think about it. Once I sit there and listen to it, all the things that need to be put in places will be put in there for me just listening to it. I just got to go find it and add it in. And I know they wouldn't be giving me that information if it wasn't already out there for me to get. So that's the power of being tapped in and not caring what people on the outside are telling you because I hate to say it, but 9 times out of 10, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, unless you've practiced something, you sat down and had a conversation with somebody in the field, you've read something over, you documentary or at least an audible book or a YouTube video, you don't know what you're talking about because you can throw one thing at people all the time, but at the end of the day, there are things that are much older on this planet that have been here before the word religion was even spoken. And things weren't written down at a certain time. It was done through spoken word and conversation. That's how you got your knowledge. Um, and the reason why I feel that it was done that way more so is because there's an emotion connected to someone telling you something or telling you a story about something. There's a lot of emotion and there's a lot of energy. Now, there's a lot of energy in writing, but you have to interpret what that person is actually putting out. If I'm telling you something and you hear me, my voice change, my body tenses up or anything like that, you're literally feeling the energy that I'm putting into what I'm saying to you. So you're gonna take it a little bit differently. The movie The Kingdom is a movie called Kingdom of Heaven. I've watched it so many times because it just makes me feel so noble and more honorable and righteous about things in my life and not to look at where I came from. Because a blacksmith became a knight. And when he was given his oath, they slapped the shit out of him after they give him the oath. And he said, that is so you'll remember it. And if he hit you in the face after he just gave you an oath into knighthood, then he wanted to attach an emotion to the vibration of the words he was saying. So then you wouldn't forget it. And the crazy thing is me sitting right here telling you that it just all came together because I never even thought about it like that before. But that's just how things are. Like I said, when you tapped in, I got a my head is all like fuzzy and floating right now and swelling is what it feels like. But the ancestors and and spirit is still giving me messages to give you out. So I'm highly grateful. I'm grateful for everybody that showed up, the people that listened in. My stream on OBS just crashed. We made it two hours and like 45 minutes. Um, but it's still being recorded, so I'll just edit it and splice it um, in some kind of way. So I'm not really worried about it. I am gonna get it done, but it definitely ain't gonna be the day of tomorrow because I'm not doing shit for the rest of the day. I'm gonna get my niece and I'm gonna come back here and lay down on the ground in a ball, and then I am going to take some Benadryl to do so, and then I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow, and get some sleep so I can get back to it because I love doing this. I really do. And I know this is my calling to what I'm supposed to do. And I do it no matter if people are listening or not. Now, I really like it when people come up and respond and talk with me a little back and forth. But like when I talked about chakras last Monday, bro, it felt like a lecture. Like nobody came up to talk about anything. I was just talking for like 2 hours about this secret, what I consider like secret information that I found out, or occult information I found out about chakras, and that this gentleman who is a 14-year scholar on Sanskrit, which is what those yogi practices were written in, was saying that American, Eastern European yogis are all wrong. They're not even using the chakras correctly. Even the mantra chants that they're using aren't correct either. So I found that interesting. So I had to talk about it. So that's a good one if you're into that. And I'm just into learning a whole bunch of stuff. So I will say that I am about to close this out, but I want to say thank you to Jennifer for coming up here. I'm hoping I can get you up here again. I know you busy, but we all got to talk on the back end. So maybe you can help me to start a little bit of a side hustle myself, helping people and figuring that all out. So we got to talk on the back end with that because I want to help people, and I've been doing it my whole life. I've been helping people since I was 10 years old. Grown adults talking to you, talking to a 10-year-old and getting life answers from a 10-year-old. That sounds crazy to me. Luckily, I ain't a Jim Jones type. Now, I read his book. I studied up on that guy. So he was doing that at like 9 years old, preaching and manipulating people. I'm not that guy. There's no Kool-Aid drinking over here. But thank you for coming through and spreading some positivity and letting people know what you're doing. And I'm hoping that it flourishes more and people get to really know more of who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. I really appreciate this space so much. It's been so long since I've been on a space, so you've really like reignited that spark within me to be more present on spaces. And yes, yes, absolutely. We'll continue talking on the back end so that you can really step into your role as like a leader and a healer, a helper, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do. I really appreciate learning how um, this is something that's aligned with you, who you are, who you want to be. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So, for everybody who's been present here, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are enough. You know, your presence is enough. You're healers, whether you know it or not, whether it be a smile that you extend to a stranger or, just looking at somebody and sending them like heartfelt energy. We're all healers. We're all helping each other, and we're all in this together. So, thank you so much for having me. It's a true honor and a blessing to be here.
Gratitude. Now, Callie, you got something that you want to say before we shut it down?
Man, I'm blessed. You're blessed. Jennifer's blessed. Solo's blessed. Jess is blessed. Crypto's blessed. Marcel's blessed. The Ice is blessed. Slim is blessed. Come Trinity is blessed. We're blessed. That's it.
Boy, short and sweet. I'm not gonna lie, that's rare for her because she will go on a soliloquy on your ass real quick. But I love her to death for it. That's that poetry and being tapped in. But we know each other on many different levels, which I'm so appreciative of that. I love all of y'all, and I hope this really helps y'all throughout y'all week, y'all life. if you need more information or want to go back and listen to stuff to get tips, please do. Um, a like and a retweet doesn't cost you anything, and I will let y'all know that I love all y'all. This was like definitely one of my best episodes, and y'all are gonna laugh y'all ass off once I edit this shit, because my brain's already seeing all the little gift things I'm gonna be throwing in certain spots. So y'all have a great day. This is Brunch Before Lunch, episode 21. We were talking to Jennifer, who is a Reiki master and a holistic counselor. Check this woman out. She is fantastic. Make sure you listen back. I love all y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Hi, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 7 p.m. Time for the news. See you tomorrow for a new adventure.
End of transmission.
That's the best show ever.